Hello, and welcome along to episode 13, lucky number 13, of Sogravia. Hello, Bastion. Unfortunately, today Darth cannot be with us. He is having a duel with a dinosaur. Don't worry, I'm sure he will return next week, albeit with a fractured ankle. Other than that, we do have everyone, though Matt is having some internet troubles, so he may be in and out occasionally. And his face is not here, much to everyone's detriment. That being said, where we last left off was travelling the great roads of Sogravia. The party had done a large loop whereby they visited Thraxton, dragged a man out of a bar, dropped him off at a village, went to Farron, attempted to foster peace between man and mage. Warrior and mage.
Wow, we know what you think of magic users there.
Yes, we attempted to foster peace between paladins and mages. It's a very little success, though we did find out that the root cause of the problems there was a Shadowveil agent, who you rooted out, though they escaped away to the Shadowveil. After that, we've done the face shuffle. Okay, that works. Hello, I'm still here. After that, we travelled onwards to the eastern crossroads, where sharp words were spoken between Glacius and the knight incumbent there, and then subsequently between Glacius and Sullivan, whose friendship is yet to quite return to usual. After that, you guys headed to Centrepoint, just in time for the Festival of Lights, passing by a strange wizard tower belonging to the headmaster of the Magus Arcane, meeting up with a wonderful merchant circus, witnessing the Festival of Lights, where an Aboleth controlling strange yellow-knitted hat people attempted to usurp the entire population of Centrepoint, though our party was greatly able to save many of them and rescue them from certain death. By slaying the Aboleth and his mean little fiends. After that was done, you guys began to head on down the road, but you bumped into the great paladin. I'm having fun here. You bumped into a great paladin felon, and you assisted him with taking down a corrupted, dead version of one of his previous students. After doing that, you popped down to Sen. You dropped him a healing potion that he couldn't get to because his legs had gone funny. You put some chilies on his knee in an ode to Stardew Valley, and we headed on down the road towards Van Harnia again, and our manor house. And as we take up on the road, it is bright and early in the morning. It is assumed that you rested outside Sen's. No, you rested prior to Sen's, to visiting Sen, didn't you? Sorry, that's correct. So it is currently the 25th of Shez. It is 1 p.m. and you are headed on down the road. And as such, Jay, would you roll me a D100, please?
77.
I think we've had
feels
38.
lucky.
I think we've had 30. Ooh, I'm upside down.
James, we
38.
haven't introduced ourselves.
We never do in Scrabble.
Well then. Hi everyone.
I'm really sorry, Jay. I need you to re-roll, please. You can't have 76 or 77.
Whilst my companion rolls and my
50.
DM looks through tickets. Hi, I'm Josh, and I will be playing Elliot Sullivan.
I rolled 50.
So you rolled a 50.
He's gone rogue.
Yes.
I don't care if he
Elliot,
wants
who are
to
you
go
talking to?
I figured you didn't hear me the first time.
50 right down the middle. Feels lucky. Feels lucky.
This is anything but lucky.
Ooh.
Some would say
it's unlucky.
unlucky.
Episode 13.
God damn it.
As it's about 1 p.m. and the weather is fairly average. It's quite sunny. There's a couple of clouds up ahead, but suddenly you hear a great roll of thunder, and you see a black cat scurry out from under a bush and across the road.
What does the cat say?
Yeah, what does it say?
It says nothing. It sprints off into the distance, and a great shadow passes over the party. Though as you look up, you see nothing above. when you look down, there is a single flower growing out of a cobbled stone in the middle of the road.
Ooh, what kind of flower does it look like?
It is a yellow petaled flower.
Ooh.
With a dark green stalk. It is not a flower that is recognized by even our herbaliest of herbalists.
Oh my.
Burn
When you
it.
say it's growing out of the road, is it like actively growing larger, or is
No,
it just
it's
there
just
and
it's
we
grown
just noticed
through.
it?
It wasn't there before. You don't think it's growing through a stone? Like it's not in the earth.
But it's stopped growing. It's not It's not going to be a giant
Indeed, it's
beanstalk.
not. No.
Right. Okay, that sucks. I will, just in
Okay.
case there's something malicious going on, I will activate my divine sense.
Okay.
Good
You
idea.
get no fixed sense of any fiends, undead, or such. However, you do get an uneasy feeling all around you. So this is the most pleasant music we've ever had.
So not from the flower, but from our surroundings.
Yes.
Yeah, what's around us?
You're on a nice, peaceful stone road. So
Beautiful.
on either side, you've got little sort of grassy banks, a couple of trees growing. It's ultimately very pleasant day, pleasant area. You're coming, you're in a little gap between the brooks, so the land is rife with wildlife and plantations. Yeah, sure, those two. And
Oh my
plants.
goodness.
Yeah, it's a very nice, typical road from Whiterun, And then suddenly, there's this one flower.
I will.
Black Cat has bolted, by the way. You've lost sight of it. It's just headed off.
Yes.
And the thunder only rolled the once, and the shadow passed over.
Okay, I will
goodness.
approach the flower.
Okay.
And I will crouch down towards the flower.
It seems to be
And I
growing
will-
through pure rock.
I will smell the flower.
At
What's
first,
I'm readying a firebolt.
At first, it's sweet.
If
and
that flower
pleasant.
attacks.
It's sweet and pleasant, but then there's an odd smell of rot or sickness, and then it's gone.
Ooh.
You're not even sure that you didn't imagine it,
And then I'll smell it again.
and it's just sweet.
Oh,
it's just
dear.
pleasant and sweet.
Ooh, so the death
Not
odor's
sure
gone. The death
if-
odor could be the cat. That
Maybe
could
it's
like
better.
the smell that's lingering in the air. Oh my god, look at me go. I will pluck said flower.
Oh,
Uh,
does anybody else want to have an interaction with the flower before somebody pulls it out?
Yes.
Yes. of
Yes.
course so. We have at least 4
I-
people who want to talk to the flower first.
Is it
Zavril,
flowering?
Zavril, do your thing.
Right.
What are you doing?
So it's extremely unusual for this flower to be growing out of solid rock, so I'd like to detect magic and take
Okay.
a moment for that to see what the hell is
Are you
making
taking 1
this
moment
happen.
or 10 minutes?
Well, yeah, 10 minutes is a moment in this
Okay,
case.
so you ask Sullivan not to pick it until you've finished casting, and then you spend 10 minutes chanting in a corner. While you're doing that, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to speak with it
Right.
before Sullivan kills it.
Yeah, so you're
Or
using
it
Speak
kills
with Plants.
Sullivan.
Is this a spell or is this part of your ability as a character?
No, this is unusual, so I'm going to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. And as you do so, the plant seems to be talking to itself. That's the only way I can explain it. It's sort of muttering quietly, fading, dying, coming to an end. Fading, dying, coming to an end. That's all it says. Fading, dying, coming to an end.
Okay. If I ask any of the surrounding plants, this is the first time they've seen this flower.
Yes. And they know not. It is no brother of ours.
Oh shoot!
Is what any other plant will tell you.
I don't like him.
did you speak directly to said plant? Because at the moment you're just hearing it.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. What are you saying to it?
Oh,
If I've got a roleplay a plant, you've got a roleplay talking to it, alright? That's a 50-50
yeah. Well,
bargain.
I'm trying to figure out what the... It sounds crazy. I don't deal with crazy people that much.
Great.
Congratulations, you don't deal with our group.
No, I just ignore them.
I was just say you don't deal with fucking Sullivan.
Zavril, you will at this point notice a faint aura of conjuration as if it's just disappeared. Something may have conjured this into place, but it does not remain a conjured creature or being. It is now a real-life fixtured plant. There is no magic about it, although it obviously Fox is currently under the effects of magic while trying to speak to the plant. As you look at it, it looks at you, and you look at it, it looks at you. Yes. Fading. Dying. End of the road.
Are there any traces of conjuration in the areas around where it could have came from?
No, it's just sort of like as you get the detect magic into place, you just get the note that it was conjured. That's it.
Right, okay.
Come on, fellas, it's just a flower. What could
Yeah.
it possibly do?
Stomp on it or pick it.
It is just a flower, but it's definitely unusual. Incredibly.
Perception check for Sid.
Okay, great. Yeah, Sid's looking for the cat. Callum doesn't care. Perception?
Yep.
Dirty 20. Wow, Sid.
So a little way down, a little way sort of off the road, between two bushes, he sees the cat scurry out of a bush into another one. But as he reaches the next
Aw.
bush, the cat is gone. Again.
Poor Sid. He loves animals, but he's way too big and bulky and scary to approach them. It's his curse.
Fading, dying, end of the road.
If no one stops me, Sullivan.
I'm still sorry. I'm waiting with Fox.
Yeah.
So at some point, Fox will talk to said plant. I think.
Yeah. Do you want to die?
Does anyone want to die? But it is my fate.
Some people.
Fading.
Why must it be your fate?
I have been brought here to die.
Oh, damn.
Fading.
Who-
Dying. End of the road.
Brought by who?
I know not the name of humans. A being
Oh.
willed me to exist here, but I cannot persist here. Fading. Dying. End of the road. And with this, the leaves are already just about beginning to brown.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this cobblestone isn't like. There's no way to.
No, it's gonna die. It has no.
Poor thing.
Even if you sort of will it into the most fabulous existence, it is still effectively a plant with no nutrients, no water,
No
nothing to
roots.
secure it in place. It's got no roots. Its home is, I can't even remember the words to that. No roots, but my
That
home
is-
always on the ground. or
Oh,
something.
Miss
Great
Never
tune.
on the ground.
Yeah, great tune.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Does it have roots? Probably not.
No, it doesn't. It's just a stalk growing out the rock. Fading, dying, possibly getting picked by someone. End of the road.
As of this moment, Sullivan's kind of looking
Reaching down,
at
yeah.
Fox like. No. He's kind of looking at Fox like, as if to say, "Dude, like, what are you doing? Just let me pick it."
What? Why?
Is it starting to wither? It's starting to wither right
It's
now.
withering.
Yes.
Yeah, it's withering.
Yes.
Should we
Why?
burn it?
Did you say should we lie on it?
He said, "Should we burn it?
Should we burn
Burn
it?
it." Be my guest, Obi. I will
Oh yeah, I
step
still
out of
have
the way.
a firebolt ready if it does anything suspicious.
Plant rolls an attack, I will let you know.
Okay.
You can do it, Callum.
Sorry?
Your firebolt.
Yeah.
I think she's
what
holding
about
it. She's not actually using it.
Should I do it?
Feel
Well, I want to
free.
give Fox a chance. He loves plants.
I
So,
thought Fox
you
was
know.
done.
Oh, are you done?
No, I'm trying to figure out if I can do anything to
Oh, like to
save
save
it.
it? Oh.
You
It's
don't
not a
think it, You
creature.
don't think it likely. No. Your expertise.
Cure wounds.
That no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Plant growth.
Oh yeah. That's a
It doesn't do anything. It
It-
can grow it for the time, but it won't prevent it from dying in the long run. Right? It's got no nutrients, no life force.
Yeah, the issue is getting it to one place to another first.
And it fades eventually. Fading, dying, end of the road.
Fox, what is it saying?
I repeat the words.
See,
Sorry,
it
I'm
wants to die.
thinking.
Well, that's weird.
I think we should give the poor fellow what it wants.
or just leave it alone and move on.
Right, but if it's meant to, that could be the trigger for something.
Then let's not waste time. It's already
Several-
wilting.
Savril, what did you cover?
The only thing I can say that I managed to gather is that this thing was definitely summoned with conjuration to where it is now. So I don't know who did this, how they did it. All I know is that it exists in this moment, in this time frame.
Do a deeper scan of the woods around us.
Yeah, what was that weird
Given
shadow?
there was a huge thunder crack and
Overhead.
shadow from the sky, it's probably not a local creature, but as you look around in the woods, once again you briefly spot the black cat wandering from another bush to another bush in
Oh,
the
there you are.
distance. At no point does it ever
Did
make eye
stay.
contact with you. It's constantly, you only ever see its back as it walks away.
I guess
Wait,
How far away
the
is
cat.
the cat?
The cat is always about 40 or 50 feet away, and it's always dashing away as soon as you catch sight of it.
Aw. Sneak
Did
up
I
on
do
it,
something
Astrid.
crazy?
Sure.
Okay. The next time I get a look, I can see the cat. I'm going to dimension door right next to it.
Okay.
Very good.
You dimension door right next to it, but when you arrive, the cat is still 40 feet away from you.
Oh,
As if
Oh no, I wasted my
wasn't-
4th level spell slot.
As if it was never really there. You may give me an Arcana check when you arrive. Because what just happened is impossible.
ooh, how spooky. Yeah, what do we see happen to the cat when Obi does this?
You all just see it sort of like you see it sort of 40 feet away, but somewhere completely different, as if it dashed and then vanished, and then completely different to where Obi sees it.
Yeah,
cat.
17.
Yeah. So it's definitely an illusion of some sort that's being sort of
Ah,
maneuvered around. It doesn't really exist.
all right. There's
I'm gonna
definitely
walk
something
back to
shady
everyone else.
going on.
The cat's an illusion. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like this at all.
For the reference, the plant is definitely
Yeah.
real. And
Sullivan,
it's dying as
look
you
at-
look at it, Franz.
Yeah. That's all I can do for it.
Okay. Picking at something?
Pluck it.
What
Pluck
type of
it.
flower are you?
Yeah, I will crouch down, smell the flower one more time.
Again,
What
you
kind
get
of
a very pleasant. It's a bit like a buttercup.
buttercups
so-
don't smell of anything?
Yeah, they do. It's like a. They do. It's like this slightly sort of fresh, grassy sort of smell, and with a hint of sweetness to it, and then suddenly that sweetness turns slightly rotting, and then again it disappears. As you're not sure if you imagined it.
Enough of this nonsense. I will pick up.
When you
I
pick
will
it,
grab the flower by the stem.
instantly withers to brown, and emits
Damn.
a strange sort of. It flickers into dust, which sort of spreads out towards your face. I need a con save, please. This is against poison. If that makes any difference.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Because poison means.
Oh, wait, not
like,
good.
No.
Okay.
Are you sure it's not disease?
Con. Yeah. Are you sure it's not a crit? Okay, that's a 10.
You fall unconscious.
Good old +7.
You fall unconscious.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wait, did you say 0 hit points?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Beautiful.
Don't pick the flower. He picked the flower. I told him that.
Uh-oh, Sullivan.
Yeah, so Sullivan sort of picks the flower, and as he's leaning up, you just see it sort of dissipate into this brown dust that sort of goes at his face.
Ew.
When it does so, it sort of disappears as if he just inhaled it all, and he sort of rigidly stands up, and then just keels over sideways.
Tasty.
And as he's falling to the ground, I'll just whisper, fading, dying, end of the road.
Okay, Zapril.
Alright.
Oh, dear.
wounds.
This is embarrassing.
What did you say, Fox?
Cure wounds.
Yep. As you cure wounds, Sullivan, he sort of briefly fades sort of back up, I guess, and awakens, obviously with 7 hit points. Is that right? Or is that more than that?
No.
It's just a 7. Okay, cool.
7.
7.
Yeah,
I'm not using wild shape on this.
Sullivan, you
crazy.
feel weak. You feel a little distracted. You will have disadvantage on all attack rolls, ability checks, and initiative for the next 24 hours.
no.
Man, I don't intend to getting into a fight anytime soon. As I come back to consciousness after fainting, I'll sit up and just be like, whoa, that was a mean one.
Taken out by a flower, Sullivan. Come on. Come on.
I don't pick it.
I would rather it happen to me than you, Callum.
I roll my eyes. Well, solve the mystery of the flower, right? It's gone now,
Yes.
fully? That cat is still around?
No, you see no sign of the cat vanish.
Okay, I'm gonna
Somebody
climb
put
inside my
this
Sid
here.
right now.
Sorry, I missed what you said, Karina. I missed what you said, Astrid.
Oops.
Somebody put this here. That's not good. I'm still like laser focused, just looking every direction.
I'm not even going to ask you for a check. There is
I
nothing
know.
to look for.
I know.
Yeah. Of course, you are very alert. I'm never going to be surprised at something.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was just a harmless prank.
Harmless, you nearly
Did
died.
it feel harmless? You don't look so
I
good.
I was knocked unconscious. I didn't die.
You look really worse for wear,
Fainted.
bud.
Brought you to 0.
I fainted.
Imagine
So
what it would
deaf.
have done to a commoner.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, thankfully I'm no commoner.
I think I know what would have happened to a commoner.
Mm.
They would have faded. They would have died. It would have been the end.
It
of
would
Oh
have
my
become
goodness.
It
think
would
they
have
would have
become
become a-
dust.
I think they would have become a circle of the spores during just
More
complete
likely.
transformation. Sailor Moon style.
Heck yeah.
Well, if that's that, then I'll just hop back on my horse.
Okay, you
Yep.
hop
Any pride in your
lethargically.
character's sake?
It's a pretty pathetic hop, but you make it onto the horse.
Some of them don't
as I said,
care.
well, you feel very lethargic and tired and a little out of sorts, but other than that, the road is clear. You make your way along the road.
As we go
Mission
down the road,
accomplished.
I'd like to summon my mage hand and prod Sullivan every now and then to keep him awake and focused, just as a distraction from being exhausted and falling asleep on the horse.
Why didn't we pluck it with
What do you
mage
get for
hand?
singing flowers?
I'm starting to wonder how you ever became a teacher, Zevron, with these tactics.
That's no fun.
Sometimes you gotta learn the tough lessons
Oh,
for
actually,
yourself.
sorry, never mind. I don't actually have mage hand. I would use my unseen servant to prod him.
God damn it!
The unseen servant is trying to run behind the horse to poke
Literally.
Sullivan. He gets one poke off, and then that's it. The horse overtakes him. You have to recast it.
Every 10 minutes, I just create an unseen servant.
Yeah, sort of in
watch him
front
awake.
of the horse, right? And he's just gonna leap up once. And poke
bother.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, give it a cloak. It's not unseen after that.
Yeah.
Through doorways.
Classic strat.
Actually, I could get the servants just to say perched on the horse and then prod him every now and again to keep
Yeah,
him
some of
awake.
them won't mind, honest.
I'm not quite sure why Sullivan's suddenly sleepy, but
Well, you are. That's what
You're
lethargic
not that they're
means.
exhausted.
yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm like
Oh
constantly.
no, it does. It
nodding
means
off.
like you're
Oh.
feeling absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You're exhausted. You've got 3 levels of
Oh,
exhaustion.
then
You're
I'll
like falling
as
asleep on your horse. Your eyes are
Okay,
drooped.
well
your
then.
face is sunken. You look faded and grey.
Okay,
you
well then,
feel
if that's
awful.
the case,
It's like 4 days
Yeah,
that's
I'm
after
taking
the
the
okay.
opportunity
flu.
to be useful and annoying.
okay, well then, if that's the case, then as like Obi's usually sat in front of me,
Aww.
but I'll give Obi the reins.
I didn't
Oh,
know we
he's
set off
driving.
and ride with someone else on an obsidian steed or something.
I only did that.
Oh,
I only did that because I was left, or something happened. Whatever it was
oh,
happened. I didn't do it
you just
choosing
ended
it.
up with Ashrin briefly. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so as you ride on down the road, it's not feeling great. You come to the end of the brook that has been on your left for the majority of this path. The brook sort of just fades out into nothing eventually. It's been getting thinner and thinner as you go along until it was just a trickle by the roadside. As you look over, it looks like it goes underground somewhere. But it's barely even worthy of being called a brook at this point. And you see a small collection of tents a little further down the road. There seems to be a group camping by the wayside. It's approximately
Oh, nice.
7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Well, do we see people there or just tents?
Yeah, you think, I mean, they're a little way away, but you do see the signs of some smoke from a campfire. You think that
Okay.
there are people actively there, and you do hear the very faint sounds of a lute in the distance. Sorry, flower moment is over. I'm not doing very well with my music today.
Should we set up camp? Also, Sullivan, you look on the verge of death.
I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me.
Okay.
Just a good night's rest will do the trick.
More like 3.
A few nights rest.
He's optimistic.
The doctor isn't.
Yeah, there is no doctor
The
around here.
prognosis is not good.
I'd like to see your medical degree.
It's right here written on this piece of bookwood.
It's written on a leaf.
This leaf.
I am doctor.
It's more profound and druidic.
It's not fancy that way.
Beautiful. Okay.
Did you want to set up camp?
Or at the very least, join theirs.
It's up to you guys. You going over to talk to them?
Sure,
or just-
yeah.
Okay.
We should see who our neighbors are at least before we set up for the night.
As you get a little closer, you do see a particular person. There is a satyr. And you will swiftly notice this is an entire troop of satyrs.
Oh,
Satyrs.
satyr.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
satyrs,
that
for
makes
those
more
of you who know
sense.
those.
Not sailors.
Not sailors.
Sailors? No, sailors.
They're a bit far away from the ocean.
Well, I mean, they might have sailed down this little brook, right? They come to a sticky end when their boat ran out of river. No, a group of satyrs, or satyrs, depending on how you say it. There seems to be about 14 of them that you can see, although you do note that one or two of them seem to have a child either rocking at their feet in a sort of cradle, or one of them is holding a very small babe. It seems to be a family group. One of the satyrs is playing the lute very gently in the background.
Well, maybe we should make ourselves known. That we're also going to be camping, so they don't think we're sus.
They look nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, they look friendly, right?
Yeah, very. They're all sort of smiling, and they look like a bit of a minstrel band.
Ooh.
Let's go talk to them.
What's the worst that could happen?
We die.
A lot.
As they notice you, they sort of, "Travellers! Hello, hello! How fare thee?
Yeah.
Please,
I wave.
uh,
Give a big smile.
are you camping on the road?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Be welcome, make merry, join us. We have a fire that if you have food to contribute, we can share out. Let's share a tale and some music. Enjoy the night together. The stars are beautiful tonight, which is a really stupid sentence as the sun hasn't set.
They know ahead of time the stars will be beautiful.
And the stars
It's
are
a
always
cloudless
beautiful.
day, right? Exactly.
That they are, and I'm sure once again, constellations will be stunning when the night falls. But for now, a sunset to enjoy and a tune or two, I think. Kavan, please. And he sort of leans over, and the lutist begins to sing gently. It's not intrusive, but to those of you who are listening, I need to double check the language. Unless anybody can tell me offhand what the
That satyrs
native
speak?
satyr language is. Yeah,
I think it's
Sylvan,
kobold.
maybe?
Mhm.
I think it's kobold. I doubt it because kobolds
Yeah.
speak Draconic.
I think it's Qatar.
It's probably Sylvan, right?
It is, yeah. Common and Sylvan.
Yeah, it's a tale of the Fey Wild to anybody who can speak Sylvan.
Nope.
But anybody who speaks Elvish will be able to glean little bits of it. Druidic as well, you can get a few little bits out of it.
Goblin?
No. It's anybody who speaks a Fey language, basically, will pick up little elements, names, etc. Or indeed, if a different side of things, you will pick up with Druidic the names of certain plants and trees that are thought to have.
I'm allowed to
originated
take
in the Fey world.
10. I can comprehend the language.
Yeah, I mean, you won't get it this song, but you might get it by the third song.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and you just basically hear a tale of a lost homeland, a past homeland, a mythical homeland. You're not really sure, it's not really implied in the words, but it is definitely their homeland. And they talk of having left it and returning once again. You think they might be speaking of the Feywild. It's a melancholic song, but at the same time, a little wistful, a little peaceful. And
Can I
sorry.
I was gonna ask, can I try and play one of the instruments?
I think we have a set of
Ooh.
pipes over there. If that's helpful.
Alright, I'll go try and play the pipes.
How's your piping?
Probably absolutely terrible.
Okay.
I'll
You make
try.
a few. Go ahead and give me a performance check as you make a few sort of noises.
Oh boy, that is cacophonous.
Successfully
Oh,
played
17.
hot cross buns.
After a while, you do manage to play sort of a child's tune on the.
Aww.
Well, it's It's pretty sweet.
Is there like a leader or like?
Well, you've
a
been
hierarchy
meted by
here?
one particular gentleman who seems to be one of the eldest.
Yep. I would like to waddle on over to him. You know.
If you don't mind me saying, friend, you don't look very well.
I will be well soon. But thank
Glad
you
to hear
for allowing us to join you.
That's quite all right.
Very hospitable.
You should eat well. Always helpful for pushing away the last remnants of an illness.
That is very true. It's been at least an hour since I last had food, so practically fading away here.
Long enough.
Yeah, very much so. Like as Sullivan chuckles, he like coughs. Still a bit of dryness in the throat.
They have a goose on the spit.
Ooh.
And what's really interesting is their various selection of sort of herbs and vegetables, and there's a little sort of vegetable broth going on over on one side, and then fresh vegetables in another pot, and a little sort of stew going on elsewhere. Lots of different roadside plants and vegetables have been cooked with an expert hand by a woman.
Do they have spices?
Not as far as you can see, just natural herbs.
I really wanted a goose with paprika.
Nope. Well, the production of spices is a lengthy process that is not simple for these sorts of creatures.
Very well.
So, you're travelling. But where to, if I might ask?
To home.
The best
we
of
have our
destinations.
home just outside of Vanhania.
Ah.
And what of you? And your band of merry men and women?
Vanhania is where we have come from.
Ah.
We entertain there for the solstice occasion. Our minstrel band go to Kavach to do much the same before returning to our home in Carthal.
Lovely.
Home is always the best of destinations.
It's where the heart is.
Yes. Or is it where you hang your hat?
I can't think quickly enough of another song to reference.
Perhaps we should be
We'll talk
we don't
about
have a
it.
hat. Should we be going
Then I
hats to
suppose
homeless
any
people?
scarf. will do. I just imagine that every satire dresses like Mr. Tomness from.
I was about
just
to
has a
ask, are they
No, they're
are
dressing
they
very
bare chested?
No, they're dressed very gaily in multiple colours. They tend to have quite like
Ooh.
sort of flowing garments, silks, etc. It's very much a sort of minstrel's clothing, if you like. They all have these sort of flowing coloured robes, very pretty. Easy smiles, billowing pants or skirts. And soft boots designed as much for dancing as for walking the wilderness. The musician carries on his sort of melancholic playing of Homeland. And you get the impression that though they're being very welcoming and very chatty, this is a sad night for them in some way.
Oh no.
Is there a reason for this type of music? Sir, we didn't actually exchange names. My name's Sullivan.
Excellent.
A
Glad to
pleasure.
meet you. My name is Gerolith.
Mr. Tomness. Damn it.
No, Gerolith. But you can call me Gero.
Gero. Nice.
We say goodbye. It's a song of leaving and a song of returning. When we travelled to Vanhania this time, we left a friend there. They are to fight. Have chosen the ways of war. Not many of our kin do so, but Sella was always war-bound. A bit of an angry soul, but also a very competent fighter. We will lack for his guard at our fireside, but we wish him well in his endeavours.
Yes. But who did he join the Tyrian Guard?
We pay little attention to the factions.
Okay.
He's at Van Hania. He has signed up to fight. You'd know if he'd signed up at Van Hania. He signed up to the Dawn Guard.
Ah, worthy cause.
It
Best
is.
of the three.
It is a worthy cause, though we are not usually a fighting people. We do
Well,
encourage
perhaps.
bolstering the morale of many soldiers, healing their wounds. War is not unknown to the Satyr.
Well, I'm sure his skills and abilities will be very, very welcomed. You should be very proud.
We are, though sad. That's why the melancholy tonight. We bid goodbye today. And we welcome going home, but we are sad to go home without him.
Of course. Now, if you please forgive me, I think I'm gonna grab a goose leg and hit the hay.
Of course. Sweet ball. And yeah, I mean, the music continues. You guys can partake if you wish. Play some of the music, enjoy the food, but for the most part, there is nothing of too much excitement here. It is.
I would like to try to learn as much as I can by understanding the language in their song.
Mm-hmm. Most of their songs are, as he's just said, of saying goodbye, of returning to the homeland.
Yeah, but I fully intend to basically just get as much as I can so I can write texts on them when I am at home.
And you are able to glean a good understanding of them, and I'm sure quietly filling in some of your companions who remain in place on some of the information within the songs. People who are curious. But with that said, you're able to get a good night's rest. You may take a long rest, lowering your exhaustion level to 2, Sullivan.
Yay.
And as the sun rises in the morning, the satyrs are already packing up. They wish you good day. And they head off to the west. You wonder really why they have come here. There is obviously some specific reason they have visited here, but they didn't tell you. Because they're technically heading over the hills. But they're headed to Kvatch, so why they didn't just take the road, who knows? But they don't tell you. And are you guys cross-countrying it to home, or are you going via the roads to Van Hania and then to home?
That's a good question.
We do have bounties to turn in, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're so right. Yep. To the city then. We got these wyvern eyes.
Yeah. Also, you've delivered your potion to Sen. You wanted to talk to the alchemist about the chili knee rub. And of course, you have some news for Andor. About his missing soldiers. So with that said, I will take one more D100 on the roadside. This one from Michaela.
Oh boy. 31.
31. My hands are not doing things.
Is that a good sound?
Oh no, that's not going to work. We are not going to remember. Yeah, by the roadside you see quite a sort of a little way off the road. You see the signs of the aftermath of a battle. This is sort of off to the south a little bit, down towards Orlak ruins, believe it or not. But you see sort of a great crater in the ground and some sort of monstrous tusk coming out the top.
Whoa. Cool.
It's pretty cool. Those of you who are alchemically inclined or otherwise, so alchemically inclined or poisonally inclined, would know that some great creature has been slain here. Well, you all know that, but perhaps there is something you might take from them.
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Okay. As you head on over, you see that there is a little tunnel going down. Well, little is not true at all. There's a 7-foot diameter tunnel that leads down. with the sort of spine of this creature leading down into it. If you go ahead and give me a nature check. See if you can identify the creature.
I have no idea what this is.
No.
Oh,
Well, that's
no.
that's understandable. They usually remain underground. Would anybody else like to see if they can ascertain the nature of this creature? Well,
Yeah,
you know
why
it looks a
not?
bit like a big snake. But Obi, if you give me a when I say big, it is huge, humongous, in fact. Obi, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Oh,
Oh,
nature
it was
check.
Arcana.
No,
Rolled a
Arcana,
nat
nature,
one.
nature. Give me a nature check. You rolled an app one.
Yeah,
No.
and that one
Either.
for it too.
That's a nature check. Anybody else want to see whether they know what it is?
Sorry, what happened?
There is the carcass of a humongous snake-like creature with a tunnel leading down from where it
Oh,
is.
let's go down the tunnel.
Well, I'm currently waiting for a nature check from anybody who's competent to see if they can work out what the creature is. Anyone intelligence-based here?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
fine. Oh, yeah, you do it, Zap.
Well, I'm not much of a nature check person, but I'll see if I've read about it by chance.
Disadvantage, Josh.
That's a 17.
Oh, yeah, you do have disadvantage.
A 17, yes. I only needed a 10.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
there we go. We got two of those.
Elliot, Elliot knows
Wow.
too.
Yeah, a couple of you have looked at it. Elliot knows that a group of Dawn Guard have actually had a battle with one of these before that caused problems actually with the wall that blocks off Mistralia. They'd ruptured part of the wall with their tunneling. This creature is a great Remoraz. You see parts of its spine are hot and parts of its spine are icy cold. Still, even though it's been a while since this creature was slain. Whoever has slain this creature has employed a great deal of magic to do so. They can cause really big problems even to large contingencies of soldiers. But you see no signs of weapon marks, and instead great scorch marks and huge other magical blasts. Looking down the tunnel, though, you do see a small batch of eggs.
First of all, would I know of any distinct abilities that this creature would possess?
No, you only know of the Dawn Guard group that fought it, but Zavril will be able to tell you that Remoraz can do lots of things. I currently only know about their melee attack and their swallow, so bear with me a second. Yes.
Swallows? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they eat other creatures. They look like that.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
horrible.
But right now you've only got
It
the
sucks.
bones underneath, right?
Oh, it's those
Uh,
fucking things. Okay.
Yeah. So they have a very, very hot body. And then inside they have a sort of icy spine that allows them to stay resistant to both heat and heat and cold. And indeed the spines on the back, which have obviously been harvested by the wizards who killed this creature, because there are none of them present. But the spines on the back can get to molten hot temperatures.
Right. So can I get a clarification on one thing? The magic that was emanating from this thing, is that from
No
the
magic
wizards
emanating,
or-
just signs of magic that
okay.
have been used to kill this creature. And it's powerful
Right.
magic. You can tell that at least. Very competent
Right.
wizards involved. You'd suspect the Magus Arcane, probably quite strong versions of.
Oh, more than likely.
What a cool
very
monster.
likely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should adopt these eggs.
Ugh.
The Remoraz eggs won't hatch. I think Ashrin and Fox will both know that. Without
Are we
being.
sure? Given that it was still
Sure.
a hot body, sitting on the eggs, that could still be warm, technically.
Yeah.
Are they
They're
cooking
very-
eggs?
They're quite small at this point. They've got quite a long way to grow. Zavril will know that Remoraz eggs can get big enough to be sort of carried by a human, sort of with two arms like this. And right now they're sort of this big. But although you might not know about Remoraz themselves, certainly Fox will know about Remoraz eggs, as they are a highly prized alchemical ingredient.
I wanted breakfast.
Sure.
Please don't eat
I
these
guess I have that
potion
knowledge.
ingredients.
I wanted blue fried
you've
eggs.
probably seen these in potion books that you've used in the past, that sort of information, or tales of recipes. They are renowned for their ability to give resistance to the elements, and they're very powerful. Cool. You can gain 6 of them. You should find them here at the end. But with
How do you spell this
I
feature?
think it's like that. But if you just type that, you'll find a list of harvestable ingredients, which should include Remor's eggs. Yeah, I did spell it correctly. Cool.
Grandma. Looks like
Well, if that's that, we can't go deeper in the tunnel.
That's as deep as the tunnel goes. So the rest of the earth is burrowed in behind it. It appears that the creature had come this close to the surface to lay its eggs.
Oh, like sea turtles coming to the beach.
Yeah, very much so. But with that said and done, if you want to proceed on down the road to Van Hania, you may.
Cool.
all right.
Let's go.
Okay. Hold on a second. What's this? Doesn't fix anything. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just Michaela's face is completely unavailable at the moment. Apologies.
We should stop production immediately and fix this.
That's fine.
It keeps fluctuating in and out based on Matt's connections. You were able to head on into Van Hania. When you arrive at the gates, it's
Yay.
probably mid-afternoon. Sort of 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Time for a late lunch. Some might say.
Easy there, Luca.
oh my! I'm personally in a constant state of hunger, so it just melts into my character.
Exhaustion life.
Sure. Well, Elliot needs to eat to get his strength back.
Yes.
But
we can
grabbing
try
a
to leave
light lunch
bounties.
on the way into Van
That's-
Hania, indeed.
That's a great excuse.
You do have some quests to hand in. That is, some rewards to grab.
Yay, rewards.
So, obviously at some point you'll report to Kailana, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
And to Anvar.
Yes. I would like to speak to Anvar privately, when possible.
Okay.
Hmm.
So those are the 3 quests that you were given for those. Let's just-
Done. We are knocking these out.
No, I really should move page first. I do that. Back to Van Hania. And then you had a couple of quest board posts, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you delivered a potion to Sen. And the reward for that, I believe, was some healing potions. 5 greater healing potions. So you may take those. Yeah. And that's that one. And did you deal with any bounties as well?
Yeah.
Those
The wyvern.
eyes.
Oh, and the rocks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10,000 gold pieces.
And did we get a reward for the goblin cave as well? I don't remember if we
the
ever
Goblin
came
hideout.
back
Yeah,
and
you've
got
got
that
that. You got
reward.
that with the hill giant.
Okay.
So that's the bounty board there.
Wow. 10,000 GP. Okay.
Yeah, so 10,000 gold pieces.
I'll update the loot.
And your 5 greater healing potions. And there will, of course, be new bounties and quests posted, but I'm sure you guys at least want to pop home for a bit before engaging in any of that. Are you then going to report to Anvar? regarding the missing soldiers.
Yes.
Yep, so he will be in his traditional place at the Last Flagon Tavern in Van Hun. And as you head on in, the innkeeper recognizes you and tells you that you have a letter she is holding for you.
We just got a letter.
Yep, so she'll hand it to any one of you. And it's from Kailana. And it simply says, Starling will visit you soon. Hope you're well. I'm out of town. And it's just signed K. So Kailana, you would assume.
Who did she say is going to visit us?
Starling will visit you soon. Remember a few times she
Starling
said Starling?
Birdsong?
Not the same Starling. But you remember Starling, the elven archer, right? The elven archery rogue who keeps popping by your house and bullying your goblins.
Oh, yeah.
And swinging by and chilling. No, that minstrel is nothing. It's not my fault. In my defense, Starling was created in this game a long, long time ago, and I can't not bring her back. So, but Starling will visit you soon regarding, assumably, what you have achieved and any further duties with the sisterhood. But Kailana is out of town for a while. But sitting, drinking at the bar, is our resident friend, Anvar.
So I'll approach him.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure Glacius as well, sort of full-on salute, that sort of thing, yeah?
Yep. And obviously tell him what happened with said missing soldiers. And then I will say to him, if you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you alone.
Very well, but first of all, the news of the missing soldiers is, well, sad, but I'm glad to have an answer finally. Your reward, and he will say, I can offer you simple coin, but if you would require it, alternatively, I have been keeping this for a special occasion, if as a reward.
Paladin stuff power.
Oh, definitely.
What is the alternative to money?
So he offers you something called moon swaddled armor. It is a light armor.
Oh.
And here. It grants additional protection and respite when worn at night. You gain a +1 bonus to AC while wearing this armor between dusk and dawn. And when you would normally roll 1 or more hit dice to restore hit points when taking a short rest after the dusk, you use the highest number for each one spent. He has 2 sets of this armor. They were made for a pair of scouts who didn't return. I've been looking to see if anybody else is interested. They do adjust to the wearer.
Wow.
But if you prefer, I can give you the gold alternative.
Well, I don't personally want the armor, but...
no, this is only wearable by
anyone...
Ashrin and Fox, I think. Everybody else is either wearing heavier armor or are their own armor. Or is a wizard. So it's up to Ashrin and Fox, really, if they would like this armor or...
What type of... Is it like leather?
Sorry, studded leather.
Basically?
It's studded leather. So
Plus
it's a
one
plus.
studded
It's
leather.
studded. Well, it's only +1 at night.
At night.
At
Yeah.
night.
It's
But
standard
otherwise it's just
studded
studded leather.
Daytime. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what you
Yeah,
guys
I
are wearing.
would-
It could be...
I would take that.
Not interested, Fox?
Well, I'm very interested, but it would not do me any. It would not do me any good.
Or is it a downgrade for you right now?
It's downgrade of 2 AC.
Oh, you're wearing medium.
Yeah, because I have a +1 in dex.
Oh, okay. He sort of looks at it and this could be bulked up to a medium armor set. If that is helpful. Because of course it can. You just layer it with some metal plates, right? So yeah, I mean, I'd forgotten that you could wear light armor.
I
Medium.
wonder if all rewards will be this easy to sway to make them into different things.
Well, in all fairness, when the DM thinks that they're designed perfectly for the character and they're not, it's usually a bit
It's like an
easy
oops.
to avoid. It won't be the top. It won't be breastplate or half plate. It'll be the one below. Is that scale splint? Let me remind myself.
Probably scale.
I don't know. Yes, it'll be scale mail, plus 1 at night, which may still be a downgrade for you, but it's pretty. I believe it's 14 plus dex, which is the same as a breastplate and 1 less than half plate, but obviously it does give disadvantage on stealth.
Man, I wanted some bad. No, it just sucks.
It's really not very good for you. Right, okay.
No,
so
because I have
Oh.
a chain +1 right now.
chain. Isn't that heavy?
Yeah. No, chain shirt.
Oh, chain shirt.
Yeah.
We could always give it to one
Wait,
of the
isn't
goblins.
chain shirt like worn under? Is that something else?
No, a chain shirt and scale mail. Chain shirt plus 1 and scale mail will give you the same armor class, right?
Right.
But then you get an additional 1 at night, so it is kind of the same.
Yeah.
Alternatively, it's 1,500 gold pieces as a reward. If you want to look for
Hey.
something a little more apt to turn up later on.
We could give it to one of the goblins.
You could give it to a goblin. It will shrink or increase
Swell.
size, swell, depending on the person worn. And it's not necessarily a decision you have to make now. If you want to just take note that it's 2 sets of moonsword armor. Alternatively, it's 1,500 gold pieces if 1 set is exchanged. Think about that, Laura. Obviously, you can equip it. It's not currently in D&D Beyond, so keep.
So
hold
just
of the
think
rolls
about
when
it.
you find out, and I will create it as and when. But yeah, so he gives you his reward, and he says, "But soldier, you wanted to speak to me alone, did you?"
Yes.
He sort of looks round at everybody else expectantly.
Whatever.
Fine.
I-
I'll sidle on out of here.
Glacius goes to
I'm
sort of stick
nonplussed.
around, and he's like, "Dismissed, soldier."
Whoa.
And then he
Youch.
turns to you and is your information particularly private from the bartender? It's just this is a really comfortable stool.
That's. I mean, I was thinking we'd be in a room, but I suppose this is fine.
Ale, soldier?
None for me, sir.
I'll have another one. He grabs his drink and so, what troubles you?
A fellow soldier, sir.
Ah, that's so.
Yes, Glacius, his name.
I see why you wanted some privacy.
Travels his game.
You can't do this while he's not here. Go on.
I'm sorry.
Please do.
Of course I can. He's not technically here anyways.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I'm not saying that, he doesn't have his uses, and I'm not saying that, he shouldn't be in my entourage. However, I feel that you should at least know of his, the limits he will go to.
A bit more detail, perhaps? Can't do much on that.
Yes. There are no limits he will not cross to further his goals. And I feel that is a dangerous thing.
And do you
A
feel his
dangerous
goals
mindset.
are indeed to rid the country of the Shadowveil?
Possibly. However, I don't
So
believe
you
that
don't
we should get
you
there.
don't worry about his goals, only about the means he is willing to employ to get there.
Yes, sir.
Well, sometimes a soldier must do whatever he can, but only at the extreme times. I'll have a word with young Glacius when I can. He's a respected soldier. He'll understand, I'm sure.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, like
bringing this to my
Sullivan,
attention.
he could probably see Sullivan wants to say something, but bites his tongue and out of respect.
Yep,
But
he
we'll
doesn't
say
question you
nothing
further.
more.
he doesn't seem to have not taken you seriously. Like, he will have a word with Glacius, but you see he's very much I'll talk to the person and see what their opinion on it is in it first.
Yeah.
Right? He's not just going to reprimand somebody on somebody else's word.
No, of
You
course.
also get a little bit of a eyebrow from him. You can tell he doesn't really like the idea of a tattletale so much. He's very much a sort of get on with it.
Thank God, what a grass.
Well, social problems out between each other. You know, like that's how he views it. But if he thinks that maybe laws have been broken, so that's where he's getting at. Like he's kind of halfway between. If laws are broken, I've got to investigate. And
Well,
the
then
other
yes,
half,
laws have been broken.
I'll investigate it, soldier. Thank you.
Okay. Well, just ask him about the evil villainous.
I think the name you're looking for is Kef Callahan.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, perhaps
It's on your screen.
No, it's not.
Well,
now it
only
is.
if you closed it.
Whoops. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
perhaps you should speak to him of Kef Callahan and what happened there.
Words will be spoken. But he's not going to do that while Bart's not here. Okay.
No, obviously.
Yeah.
You imagine.
Hey,
Pull him
so-
aside and give him a lecture.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm going to have some ale first.
Yeah,
I'll
of
get to
course.
it. I'll get to it, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
Oh, I had a note for you, Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
And he gives you a little tiny scroll with a little pink ribbon around it, tied with a nice cute bow.
Oh, there's only 2 people this could be.
This was enclosed with a note from 2 people who used to work for me up in Justern.
Oh.
I was instructed to give it to you.
Oh, okay, so there's only 1 person it could be. I will... thank you, sir.
No problem.
May I be dismissed?
Of course. It's a tavern. You come and go as you please. Even though he dismissed Glacius, yes.
I take my rank very seriously, but that's fine. I will nod, and as I turn on my heels, I will gently undo the bow to read the scroll.
Yeah, so it's obviously written in a very shaky hand. I am learning, spelled wrong, Lerning. My letters.
Aww.
I am good. Parents, nice. Or it actually says mom and dad, nice.
Aww.
Or new mom and dad, nice, I guess.
She's writing in American.
And then writes Sophie.
Aww. Well, in that case, I shall tell the group I shall catch up with them soon. They shall see a very big smile on my tired face, and I shall hurry on over to the toy maker. To the people who can get in contact with the toy maker.
Well, if you remember, they will get in contact with you when they get.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah.
So I have to
You
go
can-
home to see if I've got a letter to then come back.
No, they deliver you. They will deliver you the toy, right?
Yeah, to my home, not to my
Yeah.
person, right?
No, exactly.
Right, so I'd have to go home to check, and then if it's not there,
Well, you can pop into Yanon's bits and pieces and see if she has sent it over yet.
I will do that.
Yeah, she will tell you that she's still expecting a couple more days.
God damn
But
it.
she'll send it as soon as it's there. Unless you want to deliver it somewhere else.
Travelled halfway across the continent. Well, actually, funny you mentioned that because I don't believe we have a post office. So
There is a
if you
courier
could.
service.
great.
Are you going to have it... Right, so bear in mind it's being made in Justern. Are you going to have it brought from Justern to here just to send it to Sophie in Justern?
No. So if it's being made in Justin, then the duck can go straight to Sophie.
You want the duck delivered there?
And-
Okay, yeah.
The gecko can go to Milton.
Okay. It'll take a long time to find a boat travelling over to Milton, but when they do,
Of
they'll send it over. Yeah, 100%.
Could you ask the toy maker to add a gift note?
Yeah, of course. It'll be mentioned that it's from you and anything else that you wish written on it.
Yeah, so with Sophie, I just wanted to say, in my head, Sullivan has the neatest, poshest, cursive handwriting that you just would
Oh,
not
of course he
expect from a
does.
soldier. And so to Sophie, it would say, "Dear Sophie, I hope the travel to Jestern did you well to see the world, and I hope that your new mom, spelled M-U-M, and dad are treating you as the princess wizard you are. This is a little gift from me. And then the note to... God, did I give my little sister a name? Probably.
You don't
It would
necessarily
be
need
awful if I didn't.
We don't necessarily need
Yeah, I did, Eliza. It would say, Dear Eliza, I hope life on the islands are more peaceful than they were here. I hope Mum and Dad are keeping you safe and soaking up all the sun. This is a little gift from me. I'll be bringing back... What did I fucking name the gecko?
Dexter.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I was just
Just
say,
over your shoulder. His name's
literally.
Dexter.
Yeah, it would just say something to remember Dexter by before I bring him home.
Okay, lovely.
Aww.
Yeah, she assures you that she will visit the Magus Arcane later today and have these delivered. So, if you were to go into the Magus Arcane, they have something called a communications room, and it's basically a series of sending stones that are hooked up to other Magus Arcane locations, but also to other useful locations, such as so that merchants can speak to other merchants, etc. And they're replenished by the wizards there. So somebody can go in and basically make a phone call, but it's just the one way, one message and one back. They also have teleportation devices, so wizards that go in and out of these regularly, teleporting from one Magus Arcane place to another, will take bags of parcels and give them to the mailroom there, which they'll then be delivered out within the town. There's also an over-the-road courier service, but the simple messages like these, they won't be sent by courier, they'll be sent by Magus Arcane teleportation to the mailroom and then onwards from there. But with that done, you guys find yourself wandering about Van Hania? Is it straight home, or is there anything else that you guys would like to do in Van Hania? We probably don't need to roleplay it, but the alchemist will be very glad for the recipe from what you gave to Sen. And as a reward, we'll give you a little bag of wild sageroot and ephedra, 5 of each, which is for healing potions, and a set of glass vials. That they're all like a little not quite perfect, so they can't be used for selling potions, but they're great for any traveling alchemist. Yeah, Fox can take those, just some set of 10 vials and some wild sageroot and ephedra. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do within Van Hania before heading home? Cool. It's only a short journey home, so after an hour, you guys can wander on over. Welcome home.
Ah, our beautiful cottage.
Been so long.
I know. What time of day is it when we're getting home? Are the goblins out and about?
6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Oh. Well, yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, you
Oh.
don't see them.
Well, as we enter the front door, I will call out to them. If any of them are here.
So Thickskull comes down the stairs, and he's holding he's holding what looks to be a vase made of clay.
Ooh.
Amazing.
And he sort of, I did this, and he sort of sticks it down the table.
That is wonderful work, Thick Skull.
How good is it, really?
It's pretty good. It's really
Oh,
good.
okay.
There's a little floral inscription around the top. It's very
Ooh.
symmetrical. It's well made. It's sort of got a gradient to it. It's not painted yet. He doesn't do the painting.
Amazing.
It's well made.
Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. What was it that we just encountered?
Thickskull has made a vase. It's a good vase. Yeah, he's got a pottery skill of 6. So he's pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty
Where's
good.
everyone
he's
else?
pretty damn incredible.
The pig sticker and sheepsbane are in the basement. I don't know what they're doing.
Can you go get them? I have to give you something.
I've forgotten the name of my other friend.
Oh,
Thick skull.
sheepsbane, fat skull.
Fat skull. That's what I was looking for.
Fat skull made the vase. Then that's what the notes say.
Yeah, sorry. Fat
He's
skull.
the pottery
Fat
guy.
Skull. Yeah, oh, you have this in the notes. Like, how am I meant to remember all this?
They are under our staff. Yes, right under the pets.
Staff. There we go. Oh yeah, Thick Skull's the builder. Sorry. Yes. So he'll tell you. Sorry, I was going to tell you. Fat Skull's on the roof. Fat Skull's not on the roof. Thick Skull's on the roof. Well, kind of. He's upstairs in the attic, but he's building upwards. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go see his work immediately.
Okay. I'll go down and let Big Sticker and Sheepsbane know, unless you want to go and surprise them.
No, I need everyone to come outside.
Oh.
He will sort of shout out, "Goblins! To arms!" And sprinting down the stairs and coming up from the bottom. Pig Sticker and Sheepsbane seem to have purple paint on one side of their face. Like, different side. One on the right, one on the left. Like, they've painted, like, the whole half of their face. And Thick Skull's got, like, sawdust in his hair. And he's they all come down the stairs and... What's up?
I have something to give you guys.
Oh. He said to arms!
Man.
Fat Skull's, yeah, well, I got your attention. They all bundle on out the door. Yeah.
Is it dark outside?
It's 6:30, so no. We're approaching summer, so sunset's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Alright. I'm gonna pull out my 4 sparklers I bought at the festival, and I'm gonna give one to each of them.
Aww.
Oh, I've seen these! Like, from a long way away, but... Oh, that's so cool! Can we do them tonight?
Yeah, I didn't get to use mine yet either, so we can all do them together.
Ah, when the sun sets, we'll have like a little... Can we have like a little outside campfire? We can have a barbecue?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool!
You sure can.
What'd you say?
He said we sure can, and I said that's so cool.
Oh.
That sounds like that'd be a good time.
Alright, sunset's in an hour. I'll get the barbecue ready. Pig Sticker, you might want to wash your face. No, this is the blood of Magrubiet.
It looks cool.
Okay.
Which one's the warlock?
Pig Skull and Sheepsbane are both warlocks. They have painted half their
Make them
face
fight over it.
purple, and they've said that they are covered in the blood of Magrubiet.
Okay. Oh,
No
damn
further
it.
questions.
I was hoping that I was thinking that there was just one, because I was going to give one of them, if it was alright with the rest of the party, the corrupted balefire staff, but I don't want them to fight over it.
If you reduce the goblins' max
amulet.
HP by 20, they will die.
Give them the amulet.
So then no one gets a staff.
Yes, the Dark Shard amulet, they can use. Is that the one? Yeah, Dark Shard amulet, I think it was. Yeah, so they can have that, but you can't give them the balefire staff, it will kill them. It is only for a caster of already decent prowess. They are level 1 warlocks. They are not ready for that shit.
They haven't gained any levels while we were gone.
No. They found some purple liquid. You don't know what it is. They've painted their face it. They called it the blood of Magrubiet. That's about as far as it goes.
It's about as instant as it gets for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, great. I want to see how Thick Skull's work improvements on the house are going. How are his repairs?
So you
Are they
got this.
competent?
He's got a mason's tools of 5 and a carpenter's tool of 3. So he's done really well with the roof. He's fixed all the tiling. The holes are filled. But he's having problems with the rafters in the attic. The old wood is a little rotted. And he's been trying to replace it, but he can't find any appropriate sized wood to replace the timbers. Being that he can't lift that sort of wood. He needs somebody to go and fell a big tree for him, basically.
Okay, I'll put that on the to-do list. Sid, actually, go get a tree.
Okay. After a while, Sid comes back with, like, do you know those trees that have really thin trunks? and like little bits of like
God
not many
damn
branches,
it.
and you can see he's literally pulled it up by the roots and just brought it home. You said bring me a tree, right? That's what he's done.
You want something done right? Okay, we'll do this tomorrow.
We just lose Josh.
Oh no, Josh. Yep.
He had enough. Couldn't be around Cloises anymore.
He can't DC without me DCing. What happened? You just closed Discord?
No, it lagged out.
That's worrying. I'm the same netta int. Okay. Yeah. But otherwise the repairs seem good. Obviously you're a bit more specific to Sid the second time. And this time he takes the axe. Is that alright? Want to use that axe? Or
Please
I'm
use
sure you
this
can find a
horrible
wood-cutting axe.
great axe.
Yeah.
No,
that's
use
it.
this.
Use this bastard.
This is a piece of trash now.
Yeah, and he comes back with like a big log that he's like dragging along the floor.
Oh, well done.
He sort of nods and then pats himself on the chest like he's done really well.
All
He's very
right.
pleased with himself.
Don't get a big head.
Fat Skull will also show you the flowers he's been cultivating out in the garden, like the little pretty flowers.
Aw.
These ones. And he will also turn to Fox and say, "Garden's growing really well. I haven't touched it, I promise. Just look."
He's being honest.
You think so? You think so? He seems pretty honest about it. But more importantly, when you look at the garden, you can see it hasn't been interfered with, and it's growing beautifully. Nice, neat lines.
Yeah. I mean, I never went inside. That's where I would have gone first.
Yeah, of course, exactly. But yeah, he seems
I
really
would go
pleased to have.
inside.
He's very pleased to have noticed that your garden is growing really well.
So, since I've got a moment here, as much as I would like to help people with various things, for the time being, I have a slightly more, I'm not going to say pressing, but I'd find it a little bit more of a high priority thing to do. And before this barbecue, I'd like to retire to my quarters for about half an hour, take a seat at my writing desk, and begin to take as many notes on the travels that we've had, and in particular the multitude of things we've learned.
Yep.
And
There's probably not a huge amount to fill in because obviously you've been filling in your journal as you've gone, but maybe you're transferring it to better paper. That sort of
yeah, basically, I'm just preparing some draft notes, just briefly and quickly, to create an initial section of a first volume.
Okay.
For a much bigger book to scribe.
Yeah. So you update your
And a
notes
chance
from
to
the journal
practice
you've been
my
keeping on the
calligraphy
road.
on my book writing as well.
Yep. Obviously making sure that you keep things looking beautiful and nicely in line. Yeah, I'm sure over the coming days you will make better versions. Things important. On the note of calligraphy, Fat Skull has Thick Skull has built a wooden sign at the front of the house. It sort of sits at the front of this bridge, and he hasn't written anything on it. But if you guys want to paint on it or whatever, normally people write like Ashberry Lodge, Spring Blossom Farm, or something nice like that on it. So you write whatever.
Does our house have a fancy name?
No, not right now. It's just house. Yeah.
Well, when we are ready,
Alright.
I think you were told actually it did have a name once upon a time, but it was just called Old Brook Farm because of the brook that sort of passes along it. But it's kind of
That will not do.
No one's keeping it. If at some point you guys want to put a name on the farm, that's great. He also shows you the framework of Callum. I nearly called you Winona. It shows you kind of the framework of the old windmill. Says,
Yes, that's
I don't think I can build this, but I think maybe as a group we could do a thing. It's not that I don't know how to. It's I can't lift up the big timbers. They're really tall. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Big difficult. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a major project. that I've been wanting to get to.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we can make like a mill or something. Or, I don't know. I don't know why we want a mill, but maybe we want a mill. That's what like farm things have, right? I always wanted a little farm. Maybe we can make some fresh bread or something. I don't know. But yeah, these big timbers though, it's gonna take like, well, even Sid can't lift them, I don't think.
No, not with that attitude.
It's gonna take like 3 or 4 people basically. Just because
I'll
of the height,
enlarge
right?
Sid
It's like,
if I have to.
Well, that'll work. Yeah.
I thought that's what this was doing.
What?
I thought
That's what we're building.
That's what you're
Oh,
rebuilding.
that's not there? Oh, right.
Yes, the framework
Right.
of it is, but it's like lots of bits of wood are missing. One of the timbers is falling down. The thatches. So you got to remember, this whole house. This is what it will look like when you fixed it all. Right? It's not what it looks like right now. It's got little ramshackle bits. Lots of the shutters are missing. Let me just switch to the Roll20 view so other people can see what I'm
So,
doing.
do we need to source a lot more high quality wood right now then? Or can we
You
this?
can do, but you can only work as fast as the workers, right? Over the next few days, if you guys want to spend some time, Sid is an extremely quick wood chopper. But if you have something else to contribute, you may.
This is how we'll lose this campaign, by just spending our time refurbishing this house.
We don't do any quests, we just build our house.
Well, it's fair to
I'm
say you're
honestly
currently
fine with
waiting
that.
on Starling, but you've got who knows how long that'll take. So you could easily plot and plan to go out. But right now, the barbecue is smelling beautiful. If you want to conglomerate for a meal.
Oh, is Glacius cooking for us? He's kind of got dad energy, so I feel like he's meant to be behind the grill.
Sheepsbane and Pigstick are also trying to contribute to the cooking. Glacius is keeping them under firm thumb. Sorry, son.
I'm gonna just like get rid of my like armor and sword and shield and stuff in my room, just so I'm not like hulking around the house.
I probably did that when you arrived. Yeah.
Still very exhausted. Yeah.
But the food is good.
Yeah, you are.
The Sheepsbane and Pigsticker have been hunting a little bit recently, and when horse meat appears on the menu, you will swiftly realise what that purple liquid was.
Oh no!
It's dark. It's dyed horse blood that they've got on their face.
Oh, fantastic.
In their defense, they will tell you, it was dying already. It was a kindness. Some soldier left it behind. It was exhausted. It was on its knees. It was going to die, I promise you. And so we gave it a swift death. And well, Sheepsbane got some on him, and then we thought that maybe like that was a sign from a Gloomiet. So we thought we better go and give thanks. So when we got back, we did like our face paint, and we went in. And we thanked Maglubiet for the gift. But horsey should taste good.
What a great patron name!
It
just sounds good.
Brilliant.
I
I didn't write it. It's just a goblin god
it's
from
pretty
Forgotten Realms. It's great.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. I want to eat mine raw. And Glacius like, no.
Okay.
You've got to at least cook a little bit.
What did they think?
What do they think of?
What did they think of the sparklers?
Oh, we haven't got there yet. As the sun sets over the barbecue, yes, that's where we're getting. It's another clear night out tonight, another late spring eve, and of course, Obi brought sparklers. Are we going to have some music or anything, or are we just going to? The goblins are capable of playing terrible music. Is anybody capable of playing slightly better than terrible music? I know Obi can play a nursery rhyme on his pipes.
I'm good with land vehicles and dragon chess. That's about it.
Good.
Really.
Neither of those makes a nice noise.
No.
I can actually play. What is this? Viol?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I'll go for some viol.
I don't think Callum's ever mentioned this,
What is
but
Do you have one?
it's like a little violin. I don't know if I have one. Is a problem.
I'm sure you do, and if you don't, you may play.
Yay!
Are you playing a
I
happy
doubt it'll
tune or a
be very
sad
good.
tune?
Oh God. Let's do something upbeat. They're lighting sparklers.
Okay.
The kids are having fun. It's like 4th of July out here.
It is.
Give that a go.
Oh God, I do have a -1 to my performance, though.
Better than mine.
It probably doesn't sound like this, but this is what you're going for. Give me a performance check.
Oh God. Okay. Well, if I add my proficiency, that's a 9.
Okay, so it's like it's an attempt at
It's a
this.
little
but
rusty.
so there's off notes and stuff, but the goblins are loving it, and they're like doing a little jig and
good.
dancing, and they're like, "Oh yeah!" And one of them tries to jump up and give Glacius a high five right up in the air. One of them tries to climb onto Sullivan's back, who's sort of feeling awful. And two of them are sort of playing hide and seek around Sid's legs as they're jigging around.
Aw.
The barbecue's good, the food is good. Obi, what's the sparkler plan?
Okay, everyone. Time for sparklers. Get them out.
Okay. And they sort of each one of them sort of holds it out in front of them like two-handed.
Sullivan, can you help them light them?
Sure.
Okay,
I will go inside to get a candle to then light. To then light them.
So as each one lights, it's sort of like immediately Sheepsbane and Pigsticker start trying to have like a sparkler sword fight. Fat Skull's just sort of holding his straight up, like really carefully balancing it directly above his head. But Thick Skull is sort of like making little patterns in the air. Like he's the only one who's doing it like a normal person.
As I light mine, I'm gonna look in the sky. I'm gonna yell, "Oogra!" and then let it go.
Oogra.
That's what the goblins were yelling.
Well, yeah, sure. Fat Skull is like, banana! And Thick Skull sort of doesn't seem to be paying attention. And then in unanimous sort of shouting, the Big Sticker and Sheepsbane stop fighting each other and start going, Magloo be yet! Magloo be yet! Magloo be yet! Up into the sky. As they're very pleased with your with what you've created.
It's like they're speaking in Simlish.
Simlish. Or Simlish, yeah, that's the one, isn't it? But yeah.
Rips on
It's-
newbie.
It's a very enjoyable and peaceful evening.
What-
But sorry, go on.
While the festival is going on and everyone's having a good time and chilling, I am going to leave the bonfire area. When we were in the Festival of Lights, I got 2 of the little candles. And so I'll take the candle I used to light the sprinklers to light that candle, and I'll head on over to the little
brook.
the little brook by our house, and I shall put it in the river to flow down.
And they do float all the way out of sight, meaning that your if they stay alight as they go out, either your wish is likely to come true, or the loved one you were thinking of is thinking of you too. That's what happens. And as the festivities sort of come to a close, and you guys find yourself sat around the campfire. Pigsticker and Sheepsbane have exhausted themselves and are falling asleep in the grass. Thick Skull has retired back to the house, and Fat Skull is sort of sitting around. He's like the kid that tried to stay up with the adults and be an adult, you know. So he's keeping quite quiet. He's like, but every now and again, as he doesn't think anyone's looking, his eyes are drooping. You guys are left sort of in the post-food enjoyment.
What a delightful evening.
I was probably not like around the actual campfire. I would have stuck more to like the outskirts, more toward like the wooded area. Just leaned up against the tree. I'm just looking at the sky.
Yeah, and you all witness the sunset and the beautiful night sky coming.
Peaceful.
Given that I don't think Ashton would have partaken in the horse meat, I think I will grab some berries and wander over to Fox and just watch the sky as well.
How romantic. I'm just rooting for Laura to have a romance and everything now.
In their matching armor. They're not. Well, no, they're not in matching armor. Are
Wow.
Oh my
they?
goodness.
They were nearly in matching armor.
Yeah.
Couple goals. Foxrin is the ship name. And I'm shipping it.
Yes. Foxrin.
You guys read a lot into somebody standing next to somebody else.
You share berries.
Yep.
Exactly.
First it's
Yeah.
berries, then it's babies.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, yes, sharing some berries, watching the night sky. It seems fairly innocuous, apart from in a couple of players' heads.
After I've put the candle in the uprock, I will head to bed.
Okay. Yep. If you all go your separate ways, then sort of as the evening passes on, yeah, we can move on. I'm sure most of you are up bright and early in the morning. You're down to 1 level of exhaustion, Sullivan, is that right?
Yay, yes.
Ah,
The horse meat did me good.
yum.
Yeah. Thick Skull heads out early in the morning to go fishing. They've got some nets that they put across the brook. And they usually manage to catch a fish or two. They've also got a couple of rabbit traps set up that sometimes catch and sometimes don't.
Nice.
Nice.
As I've still got a level of exhaustion, I think if the pie decides to, I don't know, go to town or something, Sylvan will stay at the home.
Do the party have any plans today?
Aside from starting to write out draft pages and actual proper pages for the book to start preparing to bind, not really. Helping out with anything that needs to be done with people.
So apart from the odd bit of spellcasting where, a prestidigitation here or something like that there, apart from that you mostly spend the day in study.
Using some of my ever so slightly above average strength as well to lift things and carry things around if people need as well.
Yeah, a bit of
extra mage hand
work. Well. I'm sure that Callum is in charge of the structural work. Is that what's happening today? Are you doing structural work today?
Basically, yeah. It's like when your dad wakes up at like 6 to start mowing the lawn. So Callum is already up, getting out, plans, trying to fix up with who was that? Thick Skull's help, Sid's help, whoever else wants to help.
Yeah, a bit of Zavril.
Fixing up that windmill.
Okay, so we're focusing on the windmill today. Obviously, just to remind you that there has been a workshop put in place for you now. So there is a small
yes.
So there's a forge that has like a funnel that goes out the side of the workshop, where you can work on sort of blacksmithing, that sort of stuff. And there's sort of workbench tables. There's the big pit at the center where you can fill it up with coals and wood and burn it there. And there's a couple of like smaller works desks where you can do the sort of more tinkery stuff. But basically, yeah, it's a full working workshop. I'm sure that Glacius will sharpen his own weapons and offer to really sharpen anybody else's that need extra work. He'll also churn out some arrowheads for Ashrin if she wants them.
Nice.
And Glacius' thing. But yeah, work progresses well during the day. Go ahead and give me. Do you have a masonry or carpentry skill?
No.
No. What's your current expertise?
I have proficiency in those.
Yeah. So
tools, smith tools.
Proficiency tools and sorry, you've got smith's tools and and tinker's tools, obviously. Yeah. Let me just make an edit on this because you should have a 2 in all the other things. So it's
Yay.
yeah. When you refresh, that should be available in your notes extra. So if you'd like to go ahead and give me a. Do you think you're a sort of like a precision worker who like really thinks things through and does it by logic, or do you think you're more a sort of hands-on, see how it feels, see which way it fits and shapes sort of worker?
Oh, no. Callum is a perfectionist, so he's very much measure twice, cut once.
Okay. Cool. In that case, go ahead and give me an int check. You do not have full proficiency with a 2. So it's just a straight int check.
Okay, that's a 14.
Yeah, so you guide the work well, but for the more complicated carving, cutting, and maneuvering, Fat Skull will offer his... Thick Skull will offer his expertise. He's got a...
Yeah, I'm more of a blueprints guy.
He's got a 4 and a 6, relatively, in his masonry and carpentry. So he's able to build stuff up well. But the windmill starts to take shape and look good. Whilst the majority of the house is being taken up by this work, what's Ashrin up to?
I think probably working a lot with her horse, honestly. Just training.
The real one.
One thing
right?
that
Not
the
the
real
obsidian
one,
steed.
yes,
Okay.
with Equinox. But I would also pull out the nightmare at some point and just cast Speak with Animals. And
Go on. Sorry.
I just kind of would ask it if it feels trapped.
Speak with Animals is going to do absolutely nothing, I'm afraid, love. It does not become a creature. The creature is a fiend, if anything. You quickly realize that this is no natural creature. It is not trapped in any way. It is instead a creation of pure magic. Much like Phantom Steed.
Alright, then my other question, just observing it, does it seem evil?
No. It's... Maybe in design it looks a bit evil, but it seems to be a tool. The tool is as evil as the person who wields it.
No, I can't really talk to it. It doesn't seem evil.
It'll listen to your verbal commands. Like if you
I'll
tell it
just
to
let
go
it roam
left.
in the pasture.
Okay. Yeah, it's sort of a lot of the time seems to just stand still and sort of grunt a little bit and move its paws, and this sort of unnatural fire comes out of it, though it doesn't burn the ground. As if it's waiting to be commanded. It does sort of trot around a little bit, but it doesn't act like a normal horse. It is definitely waiting to be commanded. But as you guys all look up from the edge of the white picket fence and see this obsidian nightmare out in the distance, what are you up to, Fox?
Yeah, waking up with the morning dew. Because I sleep outside.
Yep.
I at first tend to the herbs and such, my garden area.
Go ahead and just perception check, I think, really, is all I need from that. I know that's a weird one.
Perception? Okay.
I have a feeling you'll be okay with perception.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. So everything seems to be going pretty well, pretty naturally. And everything that's coming up is vibrant. You think much due to the spellcasting you've done in the past. Everything's coming up with sort of almost unnatural vitality. Everything's progressing really, really well. You do see the remnants of, in a smaller patch around the other side of the house, you do see the remnants of the old owner's herb garden. Not the sort of herbs you would use in alchemy, but instead sort of rosemary, thyme, chamomile, those sorts of things. Most of it's sort of either died or weeds have smothered it. But there are a few you can cultivate out if you are interested in that as well.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah. Regular cooking ingredients are always available as plants from the local stores. Matt's just a floating figure at the moment. Very distracting. Hello. Oh, the stream don't see that. That was really amusing. Yeah. But as you're tending to your growths, wow, that sounded much worse than it was meant to. As you're tending to your plants, let's go with that. Obi,
Yeah.
what you doing?
Obi is the two goblins that had the paint on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Obi is hanging out with them, and whatever they're doing, Obi is doing.
Oh, so Obi's getting up to no
Aw.
good. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
Obi's
like
running around with them.
they go down
Yeah.
and like
He wants
they give them a Glubiat prayers in the morning. After which they chase a pig across the grass for like an hour, but never catch
I'm running
it.
around on that side.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, Obi's just hanging out with the bad kids. I like the way that Sid has contributed that piece of information. Yeah, and I think, you know, there's definitely an element of playfulness. Brutus is, they love Brutus, and they're proper getting engaged with Brutus and teasing him and trying to ride him and, you know, just playing around down in the grass. And it's really quite a delight for anybody who's watching.
Brutus likes them.
Yeah, of course he does. Everybody likes them. But I think at that point we'll take a short break. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Sogravia Last Bastion. I think it's going alright, Delph. We'll find out. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a productive day of windmill building, of frolicking with goblins, of recuperation for Sullivan, of horse training, of plant growing, you know, and gardening, and many other tasks as such. And study. Sorry, I did forget several. But yeah, the day passes without hindrance. It's very pleasant. You all join in for the evening meal, where the goblins have collected a humongous amount of vegetables, and sort of just thrown them all in a pot and seen what happened. The results are okay. They're not amazing. It's like the vegetable stew that just had 14 too many ingredients. They've used like all the different spices and herbs they could find in small amounts. It's something, but it's edible for everyone. And I'm sure that day will pass without much hindrance. Come Shez 28th, 17 days have passed since you first gathered together as a group. Sullivan, you'll be out of exhaustion. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in the early morning, you guys will... Is that a duck? Anyway, I'm sure I just heard a duck quack. Maybe it's in my house. But yeah, morning will be... It did, right? Okay, good.
It did that time.
Oh, alright, that was you that time.
That time for sure.
But anyway, yeah, I'm imagining quacking. That's my life. But basically, in the morning, you go back to doing your all of your regular daily tasks, your workshopping, whatever. But the group kind of convene around 12:30. You notice everybody sort of coming into the kitchen at the same time. Everybody thinking the same thing. You know, where's the damn food? Dad Glacius is already in the kitchen preparing the damn food. He's using some smoked pork. And then he's also got obviously a vegetarian option going on with some sort of aubergine mix. And he's got like fresh vegetables on the side, a nice bit of salad, and some good properly made potatoes. It's a really good meal. It's the smell is bringing everyone together. And as you all convene in the kitchen, hand over to you.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few matters of some urgency to discuss. One slightly more urgency than the other, but we have a sign out there. What the hell do we want on this sign, and what the hell do we want to call this place? That's the less urgent one.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a more urgent one.
Great, go on.
Okay. We'll think that over.
Any ideas? Any takers? What we want to call this place?
I have a name.
What is that, Obi?
The Goblin
Please,
Palace.
Okay.
It's good to get ideas. It's good to get ideas.
It's an idea.
We'll definitely put it on the list. How about that?
Yes, absolutely. What was the other thing that you wanted to do, Zevro?
Okay. The slightly more urgent thing. A plan going forward. We've been milling about the place for the past week or so without much of a know-how what we intend to do. For
All right, it's been 2 days, Have.
literally. I've been
Oh no, we've been a
recuperating.
little bit longer going around and doing these tasks that we've been set, but we haven't really planned anything long term, have we? So it has been longer than a couple of days. Let's be honest.
Day.
What
I
does the
see what- I see your
Sisterhood want
point.
us to do?
Well, if we're going to be fighting back to Shadowveil, how do we plan to actually do this properly? I had a couple of ideas, things that we could try to learn to help us on our goals.
Please,
Share with us.
yes, very much.
So to buy as much time as possible, part of what we've been tasked with has been rooting out Shadowveil, right?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
So my thought is we could try to learn or understand as many tactics and methods for finding and rooting out Shadowveil, or develop our own new tactics if we find out what works, and try to use this to more aggressively hunt down people to buy the nation more time to prepare for whatever's coming in the future.
But this is why they're so, why they're able to do it is because there are no methods of determining whether or not someone's Shadowveil.
Yet. My hope is that we will be able to figure out or find something that other people haven't yet been able to do.
Like what?
That's the thing. Right now, I don't know, but I think it would be wise for us to set as much stock as we can for at least a short time into trying to find how Shadowveil have been caught it previously, what circumstances have arose to this, find common links between all of this, and understand where the commonalities lie and utilize this. Try to develop ways to identify Shadowveil that people haven't really figured before. If it's not possible, then it isn't possible, and we just happen upon these people by happenstance. But at least I believe it should be worth considering.
James, do we know of, apart from obviously the one that we've encountered as a group where they've willingly, let it slip, and we put one and one together, do we know of any other ways of determining?
Yeah, so they revert to Shadowveil on death.
Okay.
So you can kill people and see if they're Shadowveil.
Okay.
That's an option.
Other than that, almost all Shadowveil carry in their possession somewhere a Darkstone, which returns them to their... Well, all Shadowveil that enter Sogravia on purpose seem to be carrying these Darkstones. So if you can find a Darkstone in their possession, you know that they're Shadowveil.
Okay.
For the most part. Other than that, they can be anyone.
Right. So either we frisk them or we kill them.
Yeah, or you sort of put together other facts.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you, Zevral. It would be definitely beneficial to have a way to identify them. I'm just not quite sure how fruitful it will be if we pour all of our efforts into it.
You're right, I wouldn't say all of our efforts, but at least some effort would be sensible.
Okay. I'll trust you to lead that department.
I could try and see if I can figure something out with some particular identification magic and see how that goes. But I can only update you on anything on that when I actually know. But in the meantime,
James, do you have a fan on?
Sorry?
No, I was wondering what that was as well. Sorry.
Okay. Very well. Is there anything? Are there any other things you'd like to do, Zevral? Or is that your main gripe?
Well, I'm just. Yeah, essentially, yes, that is the main thing. Just, it would be good to have a plan going forward, and well, not just in finding in a Shadowveil, but seeing what we can do about the Furian Guard, the Dawn Guard, and Omega's Arcane being thoroughly obstinate and an incredible bunch of pains in the arses.
Very well. Is there one you'd wish to tackle first?
I don't think it's an issue of tackling an individual one in itself. I think it's more so, mending the ties between all of them and seeing how they can work together and sort of brokering whatever we can, if that's something we can even do. I mean, I have at least a certain place within the Magus Arcane. I may be able to see what I can do with some of the people higher up. I'd hope you'll be able to do similar.
Very well. Ashrun, what say you?
After what we experienced, I don't know if some of them will ever really unite.
It's true.
It's a goal that I think it's a noble goal. I just don't know if it's possible.
And is there anything specific you'd like for us to tackle?
Not particularly.
Very well. Fox, what do you think? What's so funny, Fox?
Well, I hit a sparkle in your room that you have to find.
Great.
You're not the only one.
It's like a weird version of Where's Waldo. But it's Where's Fox shoved a sparkler.
Oh God!
Is that really okay?
Zavrel's dying.
Yeah, he's been huffing those flowers.
Look at that! I have to take care of this.
Oh no, you need a doctor.
Speaking of huffing flowers, how are you doing today, Sullivan? Are you feeling better?
Thank you for asking. That's very kind of you. I am feeling much better, thank you, I believe. Like I said, a good couple of nights rest and some good horse meat should do the trick. However, back to the case at hand, Fox. Very well, we'll come back to you. Callum?
Well, it's about time. I think we should help out that crafter we met in, whatchamacallit, Centerpoint, who's building those constructs. He wants us to find a wizard from the Magus Arcane, right? Someone strong to help him. I don't remember what spell he needed exactly, but I think some kind of something that could be beneficial to defending the borders, at least.
Yeah, that's definitely a worthy goal. Is there anything
Just a
else
reminder,
you'd
though,
like?
he did say he thought it would take a couple of years. So it's a long-term project, but not a
We
short-term
don't have
project.
years.
Well, I figure I kind of want to go talk to the Magus Arcane anyways. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a reminder that is something that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you'd like us to action?
I mean, just going into the Shadowveil and taking some of them out, I guess, is not on the table. So just know that I'm not opposed to that. If anyone else is interested.
Why isn't that on the table? I thought that's what we had to do.
Oh, well,
Isn't that why we got put
some
together?
people think it might be dangerous.
Well, yeah, but
Straight into hostile territory.
we can't solve any problems without going into the dangers.
That's very true, Obi.
Thank you, Obi. I agree.
Yes, very true. And what do you think we should do next?
I don't know. The sisterhood brought us together to defeat the Shadowveil, so whatever the best place to go to do that is.
Very well. Fox, have you had time to think?
Nope.
Do you like any of these options?
Yeah, are you liking any
Glacius,
of
what do you
the-
think?
Okay.
Glacius will remind you that he thinks that the Dawn Guard is the solution to a lot of things. You know, making the Dawn Guard run well, and then focusing on them as a route for success was his biggest interest. He does think that the Furion Guard and the Magus Arcane upper leaders, whoever's in charge of, you know, sending contentious people out. And you have now been given names of the Mage and the... I don't know if you've been given the Mage. You have been told which member of the Furion Guard is likely to have sent the Fanatics to work alongside the Mages.
So are there any options that you've heard, Fox, that you'd like to jump on the bandwagon of?
I think that's a no.
Okay then. Very well.
What about you, Sullivan? Have we heard your thoughts?
As for me personally, I think that the suggestions you've all made are all valid, and are definitely things we should take into consideration. Personally, I think that if we, help the Dawn Guard and get a better handle on what's going on with the Furion Guard and the Mages Arcane, and get them at least united for the current issue, which is, the Shadowveil invading, that would be our best shot at winning this war and ending it. Whilst they're divided, there's not a lot of hope. So that would be where my interest would lie.
If anyone's too scared of the Shadowveil, they can stay behind with the goblins.
Thank you, Obi.
My question
I
would
like
be
this.
how we would intend to sway the minds of any of these people.
Basically, we would sit them down, the leaders, and explain to them, what the repercussions of what they're doing. The people in charge who sent the necromancers and the fanatical Furion Guard members to the same place. Maybe they didn't see the outcome of that, and that's why they haven't been so quick to action it. But maybe if we bring these things to light, they will then reconsider what they do and the intentions and the consequences of what they're doing, and perhaps think a bit more clearly before,
So you plan to march in and treat them like children?
Just a reminder, just to remind you that Kailana did say if you wanted to engage with the factions, it was best that you sort of ingratiate yourself first. You don't have to. You can take them all by the scruff of the neck and try and tell them off, but good luck with the 1,000-year-old wizard and the all-powerful.
Oh, I'll just threaten to cut off his weed. Then he'll start doing shit.
Attaboy. But yeah, just a reminder, obviously, even you probably won't get an appointment with Rialdan or with the head of the Furion Guard at all.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Sullivan's not saying it because he thinks it's like something, we're not going to walk in and speak to the, the heads of anything. There's just the dream goal, so to speak. He's very well aware that we'd have to start from bottom.
Yeah. I like your optimism, Sullivan. I think, though, to get them to even listen and take us seriously, we're gonna have to be men of action. Men and women of action. So I think what we have been doing, proving ourselves more competent than them, is a good start. Find out what their problems are and fix them, and then maybe they'll see reason.
That's a very good idea. And we should see what the Sisterhood have in store for us. Since we'll be seeing one of them very shortly. ... That's the cue for the knock at the door. Who could that be?
Well, if the knock at the door does not come today, then at the very least I know one thing I can be getting on with, and that's making preparations for our beautiful sign out front, because I will be putting some fantastic and beautiful text on the thing once I know.
Oh my goodness.
Do
we have any other ideas besides Goblin Palace? It's all we have so far.
I'll throw in a name. We are the Shadowhunters. I'll throw in Hunter's Respite.
Ooh, that's cute.
But then what if that people think that's just an inn for hunters and they come in here? That might be a bit confusing.
We could put under that, goblins are welcome here.
Okay.
Well,
whatever
we
name
also
we'll
don't
put
want...
under the sign, it'll say, well, yeah, hold on.
Because then we don't want rogue goblins invading our home.
Isn't that why you can speak goblin?
I can't, as we've seen before, Obi, I can't convince all of them to turn to the light.
Is a sign too welcoming? Perhaps it should just say private property.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it nondescript.
Yes, with a picture of an old man yelling at some kids. Yeah.
Oh, and then another sign, keep off the grass.
Yes.
I kind of like that a
lot. And another sign below that saying, oh, don't. I'm just a sign, not a cop.
What about this? We're the Shadowhunters, right?
Yeah.
So what if this is called the Lighthouse?
Ooh.
Oh.
That's got my vote.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Since there's no objections, we've got our name.
Okay, what's the sub sign gonna say? Private property, goblins welcome.
I think it should say lighthouse in brackets, not a real lighthouse.
All right, Zavril, so you could fit all that on the side.
I can make something work.
Beautiful.
Ooh, the cozy cottage, the big house. Okay.
We should probably tell the postal officer for our change of address.
I'm not moving house, we're just changing the name on the side.
Yeah, but they might come here and see, oh, that's not the same name that it was before.
Sure, but they know where it is, they don't know what it's called.
Oh, they've just got
the address doesn't change.
We just haven't.
Yeah, it's like that road over there.
Sure, but if that road over there changed to two that road over there, they might not deliver.
Where's the other house growing from?
I'm just saying.
All right. Good meeting.
So signs chosen, and you guys want to await the Sisterhood's thoughts before making any main decision. Is that correct?
Yeah. Where do we have to go to talk to the Sisterhood?
You're waiting for Starling to visit you, because Kalan is currently out of town.
So there's no other way to contact the Sisterhood.
They do have their little outposts in most cities, but most of those you know to be a bit of a front. They just make propaganda posters and investigate people's husbands who they think, when the wife comes and says, "Oh, my husband's behaving weirdly," little things like that. They're not the main Sisterhood. You know nothing of where the main Sisterhood are based or how they interact with each other.
So there's really nothing we can do until we get contacted.
Of course, there's plenty you can do, but not with the Sisterhood.
I mean with the Sisterhood. I mean, there's nothing we do until they contact us.
I think you might have the ability to contact them using magic.
Oh, we have a sending stone directly. Oh, she just told us to wait for someone else. Oh, yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, you could get an update, or let them know you're home, or find out if Starling's come and gone and you missed her, or
I love that.
you know, you can also just
Yes.
if you can cast
Sending
sending,
stone
you can
directly to
contact
her.
Starling.
Can't cast sending. Anyone around here got 3rd level
Only
spells?
Zavro would have that. Nobody else has that capacity.
Pretty sure.
Can
I'd be
you
able
do
to,
that,
like,
Zavro?
Surely I've got sending. If I
I don't think you have it
help,
prepped.
that's fine.
But you may have it.
No, I don't have it prepped. I'm pretty sure I have it.
You may not. Have a look in the spell book.
Alright.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
prep it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll prepare it.
But as you
After
say,
you
you do have a
take the
direct
sign.
line to Kailana.
Cool.
Would you like to send her a message? 25 words or less?
We can do that if we want to, but the other thing we can also do is just go into town, see if there's any jobs for the Furion Guard, the Dawn Guard, the Magus Arcane. If any of them have posted a job, we could get more ingratiated with any of one of them.
Yeah.
Let's do
that's what I
that.
was going to suggest too.
I like that idea.
I have a question about the world. So are, like you said not that long ago, when the spouse is like, oh, my other half's being weird. Is it treated like witches in Salem? Is it that kind of thing, like, shit,
bit.
get him, burn him?
A
Or is
little
it
bit,
like,
but it's sort of like
Oh.
they're very suspecting of everyone. All the propaganda says, anyone could be Shadowveil. It could be your wife, it could be your son, it could be your father.
it's like the
If you
Institute.
suspect anything, then yes, very much like the Institute Investigating Sins. Like everyone's a suspect. Everyone could be them. Anyone who has a bad week, eats a bad breakfast. Wives that are falling out with their husbands that are falling out with their wives, would accuse the other one of becoming a Shadowveil, or being a Shadowveil, or getting infiltrated. So yeah, there is a lot of that sort of propaganda factor going on.
Now I have another question. Are there any... This might be a weird question. I'm not quite sure if I should ask it. And I'm not quite sure why it came to mind.
Uh-oh.
Are there any people who have Shadowveil kinks? They're like, ooh, you're like a stranger.
Oh, there's got to
wouldn't
be.
know. You wouldn't know. That's not something
Gotta
that
be.
you've encountered in the
There's gotta
past.
be. There must be.
Everyone's got their thing.
Oh, yeah.
So the thoughts are to head to Vanhania and see whether there's any questions for the guild.
Yes.
Okay.
To the bulletin board.
Obviously, you've done a fair amount of work for Anvar already. He will tell you that there are there's problems with bandits on the road still. Those bandit groups are linked in some way, and clearing the roads would be the best thing possible. There is also the job to recover a body of one of the soldiers, one of the scouts from Australia, though he would advise you that it's very dangerous. He has also had some problems with getting more soldiers, and would ask somebody to be his representative to go and speak to Gankis, his boss, basically up at Jastern. But again, he might want that to be a bit more of a sort of a soldier's contingent as opposed to your group, so it might be an escort quest more than anything else. He does tell you there's been some trouble in a village out to the west. If you wanted to investigate it, that would be very helpful to him. I haven't got all those written down for you right now, so if you want to take note of those, I can give you a proper handout for that later. But yeah, the thing is you mostly expended all his current situation problems, right? You found his missing soldiers, you cleared out both the goblin hideout and the giant that were causing issues. And you dealt with a group of bandits. And you dealt with the problems at Farron, so... Anvar's pretty much, he's only got weird jobs.
He loves us.
Yeah, he's a big fan of you. And, he
His
obviously...
approval's way up.
You have 2 Dawn Guard members who are quite well appreciated as well. So that's the Dawn Guard. In terms of the quest board, there's nothing much that relates to the Magus Arcane or the Furion Guard. But you could always go and speak with them directly. They have outposts in Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes is very vague.
Yes,
Yes,
to
to
all of the
Vanania.
above.
All those things.
How we go speak to the Magus Arcane.
Yeah. So the Magus Arcane, if you remember, is a big tower, and on the door is a sort of it's a 7-pointed star. If you have in your possession, if you're able to cast Minor Illusion, or you have in your possession one of the Magus Arcane wands, you're able to replicate the image with the perfect coloring to get in. And as we discussed before, Callum and Zavril would both have access to this, and Obi, I think, actually. And when you were here last time, you were able to get visitors' passes. So you can pop in. Is there anybody particular you would want to seek out, or is there a sort of, what's the thinking, what's the plan? Not here, but it's a big tower full of lots of different places and things that work.
Well, I'd be hoping that Zavril or Callum would
Who's the highest ranking person that will speak to us?
So you just sort of walk in, I want to speak to the boss. Well, right
exactly.
now, Ismadir is in residence, who is the Adept of Abjuration. Flavella, who is one of the administrators, is around.
Administrator sounds like she knows.
She has been recently promoted to administrator. And Zethris is passing by, and Zavril will recognize Zethris. Zethris is one of the mages in. They're called guides, so they're in charge of like teleportation and the portals themselves and that sort of thing. They're very well respected, but they don't have much influence on specific political elements.
Right.
Teleportation also. Don't we know that Shadowveil are working on some kind of teleportation magic? Maybe they know something about it. Or am I crazy? They were chopping down all those trees for that, right?
Yeah, you thought they might be creating mage circles? Within Sogravia, not transporting themselves from without Sogravia.
So, I wonder if there's any way to maybe track those things.
I also
yeah,
want
go
to
for it,
seek out a couple
Zavril.
of people specifically. Person I'd like to seek out is someone within the Magus Arcane who would know anything really about the Shadowveil, like people within it, because someone in the Magus Arcane's got to have at least a little bit of knowledge.
Okay, that doesn't even vaguely narrow it down. There are hundreds of mages who know about the Shadowveil.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well,
specific.
I'm also particularly looking for someone that knows a little thing about detection magic, because I'm looking to sort of inquire more about the specifics and learn specifics about trying to detect and identify these particular stones that they always carry with them. See if there's a way to sort of if there's at least a general area of a place at the very beginning.
So you might either want to speak to the alchemist team, who might know stuff about sort of the stones themselves. You might try the divination office. They might know about detecting things. Alternatively, the stones are of very dark nature. You might try necromancy. So, yeah, which department do you want to go to?
Well, I think we should start. I think maybe starting with the necromancy one, actually, considering it's quite dark magic, would be a good start. Okay. And then I can branch out from there if I have further ideas.
Yeah. There is no maestro of necromancy available. You would know Fleur, the maestro of necromancy, is not around. I'm assuming that right now what you're doing is standing at the desk talking to one of the assistants saying, well, who's in residence with this, who's in residence with that, who can I speak to about this? Obviously, guys, I will remind you, there is a teleportation chamber. If you want to just pop to the head, to Justern, to Carthan, to the main Magus Arcane tower where you can speak to, like, the really important people. I don't know how many of them you'll be able to get into, but that was
my concern. They're gonna give us the cold.
But if you want to go knock on doors, then the necromancy tower and the necromancy department and the divination department are both within this area. You can go and knock on doors and see who's there.
I would go to Carthan. That's close to my home.
Yeah, I mean it's just a sort of pop in, pop out thing. Just to remind you where Carthan is. The headquarters of the Magus Arcane is in Carthan. It is assumed that you'll walk in, chat in the Magus Arcane, and then walk back into the teleportation zone and come back out in Valhalla. But traveling between these cities is not hard, is the point.
Cool.
At least it's certainly not for us.
We're knocking on the
Yeah.
divination tower. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
That's two musics at once. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you head up to the divination department, and there is the mystical eye in the front of the door that tells you that this is divination tower. As you knock, there are two. The door sort of swings open on its own. There's a little bit of a library in the entrance area and a desk. There's a woman at the desk who looks very tired and bored. She looks up at you, and are you here to see somebody specific, or do you have a general inquiry?
I would like to ask who's in residence right now that I can speak to on a certain matter.
We've got about 14 wizards in residence. Something specific, or someone specific, or
Yes.
something higher up, or
I'd like to make some inquiries on utilizing detection magics to find certain very specific things. I'm trying to do something that hasn't really been done before, so someone.
you could try Narius. He's one of the older students. He's over there, and she points to a man who's sort of in his early 20s, studying a book. Or if you want to speak to one of the adepts, Kareth is available.
I guess I'll take the time to speak to both then, if that's okay.
Okay. Narius is literally 8 foot away from you. She'll tell you that the adept is in his office, which is up the stairs behind him, behind her.
I'll go to the adept first.
Okay.
And,
The adept up the stairs. Okay, cool.
yes.
So you guys head up the stairs and knock on the door, and you are greeted by a slightly older-looking elf, perhaps 600 or 700 years old. He has currently got a bowl of water that's sort of swirling on its own in front of him, large bowl of water. And there's no door on his office, so you can just walk straight in. You see him there, and he sort of looks up. Come in.
Greetings.
Yes. Zavril, right?
Correct. It's size level.
He's not reading minds, he's just remembering who's who. There aren't many blue men. There are a few, but there's not a huge amount.
There's not a whole group?
No. Did you have an inquiry of magical matter? Something else bothering you?
Yes, I do indeed. I've taken quite recently to taking it upon myself to try to track down as many Shadowveil as possible.
That's what everybody in the guilds are doing these days. Yes?
Yes, I'm looking to develop specific magics to help in identifying and tracking down some of
I'm
these.
afraid unless you're looking to portent reading and future telling, divination is not going to be of much use to you. We can't see the Shadowveil in any way. They hide perfectly amongst our people. We've tried locating the objects of their nature, we've tried locating their minds, we've tried reading their minds. The objects positively evade magic, like they let off a tiny little bit of an anti-magic shield or shell.
So the stones they carry themselves have an anti-magic field, you say?
Minor. It only extends about a millimeter or two beyond the stones. I have had the chance of inspecting one before. But enough that they divert our attempts at locating them. And as for the people themselves, there's only one surefire way, and it's a dagger through the heart.
Then, as a roundabout way, would it be possible to detect anti-magic fields themselves?
Not really, they're too small. You can detect them on a large scale, but unless you're standing within a foot of the person, and you had a very focused sort of detection spell up to detect magic, maybe you might get a ripple of it, but you could just as well be accidentally detecting their lead flask. It prevents magic as well, right?
I see.
A piece of rock. If there was a surefire way, Zavril, we'd have already caught the Shadowveil. Mage is far greater than your eye looking into this. We have not succeeded.
Indeed, I just thought with an extra pair of eyes, with everyone looking, someone may eventually at one point have an idea that nobody else has had.
Believe that, yeah, of course, all ideas should be shared. It's the premise of the Magus Arcane, but if somebody thinks of a way, you can guarantee that every one of us, from the highest up to the... I mean, there's a sort of slight change in his voice, as if implying this is you. to the lowest and newest of mages. Not you personally, but to like some of the guests, the visitors. So it's not Zavril, it's the other lot that he's sort of pointing at. To the lowest and newest of guests, visitors, and mages. We'll be aware of it as soon as possible.
I see. So, if it is of my understanding that essentially everyone in their own way, in some form, is investigating and trying to find new methods, yes?
Everyone's a stretch. There are those that are more interested in the politics within the guild. There are those that believe that the issues of the Shadowveil are beneath us. And there are those that are far more invested in their own studies to really care what's going on in the world around them at all. But most of us are at least paying some attention to the Shadowveil War, yes.
What do you mean beneath you?
There are mages in the guild that believe that wars will come and go and the Magus Arcane will stand regardless. If they must relocate, they will, but apart from that, they care little for the affairs of the country or the men within them.
And how is the politics within the Magus Arcane?
Rife as always. I do my best to pay as little attention as possible. I have no idea who has more influence with who right now, but the rivalries continue, I'm sure, as much between the students as they do between the maestros or even the headmasters themselves. Constant machinations and manipulations going on.
So,
I'm afraid I've not really got my finger on the pulse, so to speak. But Flavella always knows what's going on. She might be worth speaking to. I think she's also the one with general tasks if there's anything you're looking to help out with. She's not bad for a newbie.
see. I do have one more question. Did you say you happened to see one of these stones in person, or was that
I did.
someone...
Yes. I was unable to make proper contact with it. It slipped out my hands as if it didn't belong to me. It seems to recognize something in the Shadowveil blood.
Ah, so there is...
If I had one of these stones, then I would be able to detect if you or I were Shadowveil. The only problem is that they fade within a day of being away from the Shadowveil. I think they renew the magic on them in some way.
Right, so currently there are no stones in your possession?
No, I had one for a day, as I said, and then it burst into dust. I think they're attuned to a specific person.
Would it be of particular use if say we happen to be able to get one of these stones?
I'm sure that more study of them is useful, though I was very blessed to be the person who happened to be highest up when it was brought. So certainly I'm not the ideal person to be the one who studies these. A few of us have had a chance to look at them, but only briefly.
In case we come across one, would Zavril be able to get a copy of your findings?
Of course, but they are, I'm afraid, very slim. And he will basically give you a little scroll that tells you that first of all they seem to emit a tiny little anti-magic field around them. If the magic on them is not renewed within 24 hours, they seem to crumble to dust, and they seem to be attuned to a specific user. They're also made of a material that you don't recognize, assumably from the plane of shadow itself.
Okay,
They also don't reflect light. They're dark.
Interesting.
Regardless.
Very curious.
Ball of darkness.
So, who else has done studies on these?
I think the person who knows the most about them is Yakatur, though getting a hold of his findings would be difficult. Yakatur is one of the headmasters. I suppose, if you showed some new discovery in the field, then perhaps he might be interested in speaking to you, but otherwise, I'm sure he will continue his political manipulations. Otherwise, Valaris is probably the person to speak to.
I'm guessing if I were incredibly fortunate to be able to get my hands on one of these, even for a brief window...
he would speak to you immediately.
Would be of utmost priority.
If you could find him, yes. If not, Valaris is the person to speak to. Valaris is the resident transmutation maestro at Pathfinder. Sorry, I sound like what, soldier?
You sound like you don't like him very much.
I think we should have our focus elsewhere than politics. Yakatura is the most politically involved member of the Magus Arcane in the higher-ups.
And what
I'm
does
sure-
he want exactly?
I'm sure he knows better than I for what reasons he pursues those things. He's the most powerful mage, and I certainly wouldn't cross him, but whilst he has my respect, I'm not sure I understand his means. As for what he wants, what most of the Magus Arcane want, a chance to lead Sogravia. It is believed that they would defend the country better than the current non-god or the king. I think it matters little. What matters is that whoever has the grasp has a firm one.
Interesting indeed. You mentioned he was manipulative. In what sense?
He said that a lot of the politically minded people are involved in manipulations and machinations. Oh, I'm sure he courts nobles. He often treats with the king and with the Dawn Guard heads. He's always ingratiates himself into a new circle. He makes regular visits to the elves, and all of that may just be part of his job. But he's no stranger to a bribe.
Interesting. Thank you for being so honest and forthcoming with
You're
us.
most welcome. Those of us who see clearly often see that the path to victory is straight and direct.
Well, especially now that the rain has gone.
It was raining today. I haven't been out yet.
You can see clearly now.
But the rain has gone.
The rain
Oh.
is gone.
All the obstacles in our way.
This is why I don't let visitors in. So
Oh,
you'll be
it's
on your way
very
then.
understandable, but thank you.
No problem.
So I guess we'll
Kind of
find
dismissed, really.
the mage that has the quest.
The administrator.
So
Yes.
Flavella has her finger on the pulse of politics, and is in charge of
good.
giving out tasks from the Mage's Arcane. If you head back down to the desk, and you'll be sent to the administration office. Flavella has a huge office, and the door is closed, and there is a little note, a little sort of note. It's like a piece of wood with writing on it. That the writing is written magically. That currently says "available."
Oh, good.
And knock on the door.
The door swings open, and sitting behind the desk is bear with me. Scroll. Is an elf. She looks to be in her 50s or 60s, maybe 70s or 80s. You're not really sure. It's difficult to age elves. She has her hair pulled up in a really tight bun, two little tiny earrings in, and she's got a polite smile on her face. She's, come in. What can I do for you? I'm Flavella, by the way. And you are?
A pleasure to meet you. I am Sullivan. This is Fox, Callum, Sid, Obi, Ashrin, and Zephril. And I'll kind of step to the side for either Callum or Zephril to take the floor.
That's a lot of names. You're not a resident here, are you? But it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of this most martial group?
Well, we're the Shadowhunters.
Cue Charlie's Angels pose.
I did hear
we-
something about you all.
Oh.
Didn't you deal with some problems over at Centerpoint with the Aboleth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a nasty.
I had to send one of our diviners in to investigate what was going on there. It seems they're part of sort of a coalition of Aboleths. Worrying. But well done on that.
That is worrying. What? Do you
anyway.
have any more information on that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The diviner detected that the sovereignty that this
Yeah.
Aboleth belonged to seemed to be a group of Aboleths. It was a younger Aboleth that was sent to Centerpoint. Let's hope that they stay well away and deep underground. I'm sure we have enough issues to be dealing with. Speaking of which, are you a mercenary group of sorts? Or?
That is, yeah, what we came to talk about. We're hoping to help any way we can
Brilliant.
again.
Yes, I've got a couple of jobs that need doing, and one that might suit the more martial aspect of you all, but one that, well, perhaps being of no direct coalition to the guild, although a couple of you I know are members, perhaps...
Most certainly, yes.
We've had some problem with the Furian Guard in Vanhania.
You don't say.
Yeah,
Yeah, to clarify.
Well, they're hushing up the fact that they are forcing villages into service.
Ooh.
You mean essentially enacting a mobilization on the population?
What? No, I don't think so.
Forcing them into service? What? Making people what?
A draft? Conscription?
Yeah, they're basically
they're
going into
conscripting.
villages and they're saying, yes, they're conscripting. They're making people join up with the Furian Guard, sort of
Oh
forcibly,
my.
yeah. And then they're covering it up. That's most awful.
How do you know how they are forcing
No,
these
I'm afraid
people
I
to
don't have
join?
many details, and I will be honest with you. This job is passed down from one of the headmasters with almost no more information than I've just given you. The only thing I have is the name of one village where apparently it occurred.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out on the River Dervin.
That's something to start with.
Well, these people should at least have the option to join.
Yes, I mean, well, not only that, but conscription is illegal, and some people serve better as not soldiers or sword-wielding paladins.
And quite frankly, sending underprepared, undertrained people into battle is incredibly irresponsible.
Oh,
Well,
but with the
they-
power of God on
they
their
would-
side, I'm sure that'll be fine.
Well, we don't know that they're actually doing that. We know that they're getting them to join, not necessarily they're throwing lambs to the slaughter.
Does anyone know where the fucking pins are, guys? I can't find them.
Whoa, receptionist, calm down.
Ah, I've got it, I've got it.
There's
Here we go,
one.
thank you.
It says ruins.
I don't want ruins, I just want a regular pin. I found them.
Okay.
The village was here.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing to say that they're not training these people.
No, there isn't.
Shouldn't-
You
shouldn't jump to that
and the Furian Guard don't only fight on the battlefronts. So for all we know, they're joining in ritualistic worship of Lathander. I don't know. I don't have any more information than I've been given, and I try not to express too much of an opinion, though I do find that the less fanatical paladins I have to encounter, the better my life is.
It's very interesting, Mage's Arcane.
Hmm?
It seems that half of the mages here don't want to be involved in anything political, and the other half are
Well,
knee-deep.
you can't just avoid politics. Politics are everything in this nation. Sogravia is to survive. Politics will be at the heart of it. Everybody must pull in the same direction.
We will look into
And
this.
obliviously
to see.
focusing on your studies and ignoring everything that's going on in the world is even more useless than being a fanatical paladin pounding your head against the walls of Kavach.
Indeed. Well, we will look to see if there's any truth to these claims for you.
If you do happen to be headed out of Vanhania on the roads, I don't suppose... We've had investigations of people going missing out in the northeastern forests of the Greenwoods. If you happen to be in the area.
Hmm.
She said people going missing.
Yes.
Do we have any more information? Or is
Uh,
this just as vague
She
as
sort
the...
of points you at the bit on the map where I've just put the pin, and says, I think there were 6 disappearances, but it's not one person disappearing, it's entire groups.
Oh.
I see.
So a merchant band who were expected vanished off the road. There was one survivor from what I've heard. I think they made their way over to Kavach. Completely lost their mind.
Ooh, what if it's a Bermuda Triangle?
Ooh.
We will look into this. For
And do try not to randomly vanish too. But as I said, you seem to have a more martial aspect. Yes, either of those would be of most great help.
Very well.
I'm fairly new to this, so I'm sorry if I don't have much more information. I'm the least trusted of the upper echelon, so to speak.
And why is
I've
that?
only been in the job about 30 years. So I'm one
Right,
of
so
the
it's
newest
experience
members.
and why you're not trusted, not because you're untrustworthy.
Oh no, indeed.
30
no, it's-
years.
yeah.
Not
Not just
30 years.
green.
She's a total
Green.
newbie. The person who was
Yeah.
inducted before her, apart from the was the gnome who was inducted about 50 years ago, who is the
I see.
maestro of illusion.
Okay. Very
Because
well.
it's known for sure that some people within the Magus Arcane have been around for, well, 1,000 years.
Yeah, the majority of people in their positions have been in their positions for at least 200 years.
It's almost like the old guard should die. I don't say that out loud.
Ah, yes, cleansing. That's what this place needs.
No, I don't say that at all. Magical.
Did she say the name of this town where the Furian Guard was? conscripting
No,
people?
she's given you a point of the place. She's not really sure it has a name.
Okay, it's just really tiny.
Yeah.
Alright.
Upon further questioning, she will sort of. I think somebody called it Riverside. Inventive name for a riverside town, I guess.
It'd be better than Riverwood. And the wood next to the river.
Well, yeah. I mean, as I said, if you find anything out, that'd be great.
Yes, thank you very much.
There is, of course, a reward for either of those tasks. There always are.
Yes.
I think it's monetary, mostly.
We're hoping to get into good relations with the Mages Arcane, so this is a very good starting point.
Yeah. It's that or, bribes and bootlicking. So,
Yes, that's not really up our alley, so...
No. Well. Very well. Thank you for your time. I have an
Thank
appointment in 4 minutes. I don't suppose you have any other questions? Excellent.
I believe
Thank you very much.
so.
Gives me time to make
I don't
coffee.
think so.
Good.
Fantastic.
With that, you guys can head out and talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds.
Well, okay then. Did anyone hear what that lady's name was?
Absolutely not.
Oh, it's...
Alright. So we're over here. Should we just, teleport to this town and then just go along the road here? Would that be quicker?
And then cross the river, and then make our way back.
Yeah.
We could
I
do.
like that.
That would be...
Or do we want to see if any other factions in this town have quests that we should pick up before we leave?
Yeah, that, because if they're on the way, we can do those as well.
Alright. Yeah, let's do that first then. James, what was this lady's name again?
So this is Favela, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a reminder, I'll link it in the Roll20 chat. All of the members of the Mage Arcane are there.
Fantastical.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mage.
Okie dokie.
You already left. What's the plan?
She's on her meeting now.
Yeah, the sign's turned over.
Well, as you do head down the corridor, you do see
Unavailable.
you do see a man headed in the other direction, appearing to go to speak to her. He's a Yuanti. He's got a sort of low-dripping hood, and he wears the robes of the Maestro of of an Adept of Necromancy.
Wow. They'll just let anybody in here.
Sorry, Adept of Abjuration, not Necromancy. Yes, Yuanti.
Oh, real quick. Do you know who we would talk to about someone to help that crafter? What was his name? Osric or something? Who's building the construct?
The assistant sort of thinks for a moment, and I don't think there's
Ulrich,
anyone here,
I mean.
but at Carthon you might speak to the Artificers Guild. They're a sub-guild of the... As I'm sure you know, as she sort of motions towards me.
Oh, yeah, of course. I should have thought of that. I'll talk to them first. Thank you.
The Guild of
All right, I'll
Artificers
note
is the
that
place
down.
to be. Yeah, there might be a couple of creation mages as well, transmuters, who could be of assistance. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think we want to talk to any representatives that are here for the Fury Guard and the Dawn Guard.
Well, Dawn Guard is Anvil, you know that.
Okay, so yes, the only.
Yeah, so you want to head over to the Furian Guard building? Yeah. You've spoken to him before? Does anybody have his name to hand? Before I have to dig it up
Absolutely not.
again. Yeah. You spoke to him
He's
the
called
last time
Ben.
you were here.
Or Bill.
No, he's not.
Freddy?
No flower pot men this time.
When you were speaking
Dutiful?
to... Josh, stop.
Sorry.
When you were speaking to the Furion Guard and the Magus Arcane before you went off on your mission to Farin, you spoke to two people in advance. The leader at...
Furion Guard Captain in Von Hania, we have Rhaegon on the list.
You have what?
Rhaegon.
Rhaegon, yes, great. Fantastic. There we go. I knew somebody had it somewhere.
Cool.
So if you remember, he was quite straight talking with you. He was all about working together with the Magus Arcane and fixing all those problems and that sort of thing. He was quite a nice lad. Yeah, if you want to head over,
Oh.
you have spoken with him before.
Should ask him about these rumors too.
Yes.
Conscripting people.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, you head over. There are two men standing outside, looking a little imperious.
Hello, soldiers.
Greetings. You have business?
Yes, we are looking for...
Rhaegon.
Yeah, him.
Yes. He's
So
at rest
bad
at
with
the...
me.
He's at rest at the moment. His assistant's available.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Speak to them.
Yep. Which doesn't help you a huge amount because it's a whole nother name. But the name of this particular man is Cain.
Oh, that's easier. I won't remember it, but it's easier.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm still a mage. Sorry, it'd be me again. Yep. so
Yes, thank
Cain,
you, mage.
That's very kind of you.
Why did
as
you
go
follow
in,
us here?
your gesture towards an office, which is a slightly smaller version of the office that you went to with Rhaegon.
Yep.
Behind it is a man. He has sort of almost bleach blonde hair pulled down to one side. He has slightly glowing golden eyes, and you know immediately that he is an Asimov. Asimov? I don't know how you
Is he
pronounce it.
winged?
Sounds hot.
Not at the moment. You know that they can manifest those wings on demand.
Oh. Right.
He has a grand white cloak down his back, and his armor is so bright that you almost see a reflection as you walk in. As you come in.
Lovely.
Yes. Can I help you?
Hi,
Are you here to sign up to the Furion Guard?
No. No, thank you. Not today. We've actually just come... first of all, just to ask you a few questions, and second of all, to see if you needed any help.
We do have a couple of duties that you might be of assistance with. Are you a mercenary bunch?
Not quite, but that's not far off.
You're a mercenary bunch that works for free?
No, we...
Oh, forgive a man for
not.
hoping. Well,
Absolutely not.
Okay, if I
very
could
well.
finish
Mercenaries
it.
it is, anyway.
If I could finish a sentence.
Well, I don't know.
Sullivan will say gritting his teeth.
Try to be concise. How can I help you?
First of all, we've heard rumor that the Furion Guard has been forcibly conscripting people.
Have you?
Is this true?
No.
And why would the
Right.
rumors start of it?
I don't know. Preposterous rumors, probably fabricated by the Magus Arcane to,
I will... Sorry, go on.
Can I finish a sentence?
Shut the fuck up.
Probably fabricated by the Magus Arcane to whatever you call it, our reputation. Defame our
Sure.
reputation. Sure, we'll use that word. It's not what I was looking for at all.
I'll pull out the map and point to the area where they claimed that it happened. Do you know if there's been any Furion Guard troops going about this area?
That's
As
the main
of late?
road, of course. On their journey from Carthan to Thraxton, on their journey from Zarenia to Thraxton, from Justern to Carthan, I guess, or Kavach. Of course, it's a road. Furion Guard do use them.
A fucking asshole. I'm ready to burn this faction down. Very well. We were hoping to lend our aid to the Furion Guard in
Good.
hopes of gaining their favour.
I have a couple of tasks for you. I'm
What
sure
are
if
the
you are
tasks?
up to the tasks, then here they are. And he sort of fishes out and, well, first of all, if you are able to deal with the preposterous rumors that are being fabricated by the Magus Arcane about conscripting guards, that would be most helpful.
I never
he
said it
wants
was
us
Magus
to-
Arcane.
I'm
This
sure
guy
that is the
presumed
origin of the problems. If you want to investigate further, I'm sure that is where the rumors would have started. So,
Nothing like a.
So he wants us to debunk these rumors?
make them disappear.
Okay.
Okay, they're two very different things.
Oh, I don't care how you do it. Prove them untrue, or just get rid of whoever's spreading them. It doesn't really bother me either way.
Jeez, that's a bit
Proving them
ruthless.
untrue
Don't
would
you
be
think?
the,
Well, I don't mean kill them. I just mean silence them.
Okay.
Okay, sure. If you want to dance around the bush. And the other thing you'd like us to do?
Ah, yes, the other thing, as you so delicately put it.
Well, you didn't tell me, so. Sorry, I would not say that. Sullivan's not the argument.
No. Well, yes, there is a duty that,
Oh,
well, people such as you could perhaps be of use with. Yes, we have an outpost up in the mountains north of Carthan. A temple, almost, I guess, to Lathander. But recently it has been troubled by attacks from the outside. Ruffians, giantesque. We are hard-pressed to send any soldiers, valuable soldiers, there to defend it, as they're needed at the front lines, but I'm sure we could spare the likes of yourselves. If you want to go up and investigate it, it'd be much appreciated. There may be some pay in it, I guess. Mercenaries need the jingle of coin to facilitate their use.
Like I said, we're offering our help to gain the Fury and God's
I
favor.
believe your comrade most specifically demanded payment.
Who?
Oh, yeah. It was me.
It was
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it,
Callum.
Callum.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
yes,
can the
yeah.
ever material.
I will tell you first and foremost that you will find it very hard to ingratiate yourselves into the way of the Fury Guard if you refuse to join the guild itself. Those who don't follow in our ways or live the lifestyle that we deem appropriate will not find the best route of fending away the Shadowveil.
Oh, yes, I can't. Nope. Sullivan is not an argument.
What do you guys think of Flandel Steelskin, or is this kind of a Lathander-only based organization?
We do respect that not everyone within the Fury Guard will follow Lathander, as long as you follow his ways. And it is the ways that are important, bringing light to the darkness in the world, pushing back the
wait, that's our
Shadowveil
thing.
and cleansing Sogravia.
Hey, we're Shadowhunters, so yeah.
That is our only real task, saving our country, protecting it from those that would invade. It can be difficult sometimes, and our ways can be seen as harsh, but it is those ways that will protect Sogravia. But as I said, you'll find it very hard to ingratiate yourself if you're not willing to join.
As there's nothing else to really say at this point, Sullivan will leave.
He nods.
That's mostly just to keep myself from talking out of character.
Yep, so you've been given the instruction that the Temple of Lathander sits near the peak of the mountains north of Carthan. I've put the 3 dots on the board, but I haven't put any text next to them, so if you guys need that information, you can write it in whenever it's convenient for you. But yeah. With that, with your quests and missions collected, is it time for a quick nap at home, or are you just going to head straight out in the middle towards the middle of nowhere? Or do you want to inform Kailana of your plans?
We can just head out.
Elliot, we
Option,
cured you solved all your exhaustion, right?
Yes,
Or do you-
I am in fighting condition, Callum.
Oh, excellent.
What?
Then,
Was that Jamel?
I said, oh, excellent.
Oh, sorry. I just heard sunt. Great.
Wow, that
Yeah.
really didn't come through then. That's incredible.
Do you want to communicate with Kailana that you're leaving, or what's the thinking?
yeah, we can pass that along.
Yeah, I think we should.
Now she has to come find us. We were waiting around all day for her person, so no, she got to wait for us.
What are you saying? You've got a 25 word message.
Which place is it we're headed first, then, people?
I was
Okay.
gonna say, could we teleport here, and then we're close to kind of all of our objectives.
You can teleport to any one of the main cities,
Fantastic.
including Centerpoint.
Ooh, that's cool too.
Very nice.
You can't teleport from Centerpoint, but you can teleport to it.
Right. Before we go, can I see if I can upgrade my sword?
You have seeked out the shops in Vanhania before and discovered that they can't do that.
I more meant like with the mages. Okay.
Again, not in Vanhania. It's you're at a warside town, frontier town. It
Okay.
is something that could be pursued in Carthan, if that is where you're teleporting to. Yep. So your thoughts are to go to Carthan and head out from there. So what are you going to say to Kaidana?
The Kaidana's actually meant to meet us, right?
Nope.
At home. She said that they're gonna come visit.
She was going to send Starling over to your place too, and that she was
right.
currently out of town.
I think in the
Yeah,
message we should tell her that she's late.
We're heading to Carthan. Doing some business over there.
Yeah. So
Is that everything?
Is that everything? Is that the whole message? Okay.
You've got a lot left.
yeah, exactly.
What else do you want to say?
Got 16 words left.
That's kind of all. I think that's where we're going to be, around that area.
She will reply with, "If you can wait but a day, Starling should be with you. Duties of hers might intersect with yours."
Fine. Okay, let's go home and wait one more day.
Fine, we'll have another barbecue.
Well, actually, when you head back, Starling is sat on your wall, kicking her feet and waiting outside.
Oh, of course she is.
And she sort of looks up at you and, "Hey, how's it going? Pigsticker made me a sandwich."
Very
Hope
nice.
it wasn't
How was it?
horse meat.
It was. Is that what it was? Oh, that makes so much more sense. It was a little tough, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
He's still learning. He's still learning.
Yeah.
Getting-
I hear you got on all right with Keth. Here, catch. And she chucks you a strange, colourful cloth, inside which is a ring and a pair of cylindrical tubes.
Ooh.
That's the cloth.
Ring and cylindrical tubes.
Sorry, bear with me. That's the ring,
Ooh.
and those are the weird cylinders.
The ring's playing rock, paper, scissors with it.
Oh, sorry, there is something else in there. There's also a lantern with an eye on the front, which is in the VTT, so it's in the bottom right of Volton.
Oh, cute.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh.
She gave us all this stuff? Wow.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up in the cloth, and she's like, "Those are from Kailana. As a thanks, I think, or something. I don't know."
Lovely.
Did she tell you what these things are?
Nope. Not a
What is
clue.
this cloth?
Okay.
Find out.
I'll-
Okay.
I'll just start identifying them.
Sorry.
What is
did
the
you say?
cloth?
Sit down and look at some.
I don't know. It's a cloth.
It
And
looks
then,
pretty.
Can you just ritually identify? Is that what you're going with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Callum goes very quiet in the corner for half an
It's
hour.
going to take about 45 minutes.
40 minutes, actually,
I'm
yeah.
going to do all of these.
You will find 4 things. The lantern is a lantern of revealing. While lit, this hooded lantern burns for 6 hours
Nice.
on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light, 30-foot radius. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the lantern's bright light.
Oh,
Cool.
that's so cool that it's an eye.
The cloth is a chroma cloth.
Whoa.
This silken cloth is enchanted using a unique blend of abjuration and evocation magic. You can change the colours. You can use it as a headband or wrap to gain resistance to that damage type.
Whoa.
It can only reduce it once per day. Alternatively, the cloth can be fashioned into an effective sling, and ammunition deals that type of damage.
That's cool.
I can roll 20 whichever version you want. I can stick it on D&D Beyond. Alternatively, you can homebrew your own version if somebody's using that. The ring is shown to be a ring of gestures, a gaudy ring with a delicate pink gem with a hand. While wearing the ring, you can use the minor illusion cantrip to reduce, enlarge, and change the colour of the hand wearing the ring itself. These are traditionally used at the battlefront to sort of like wave to people or point in certain directions or make like hand gestures to get their attention. Right?
With one giant hand.
Yeah. So basically, it's to send messages from a distance, that sort of thing. And the last one is Numat's trick tubes. It's a drab pair of empty ceramic cylinders, it's a foot. Each one's a foot tall. It's like this big, and about 3 inches wide. And if you put it in one, it will whoosh and come out the other one.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That is pretty fucking awesome.
Wow. Great.
She also gave you this, and she just puts a little pouch on the table, which contains 10. I think they're citrines. It's 1,000 gold's worth of jewels, of gems.
Nice.
She hopes you're keeping well. She passed through Centerpoint. You don't think Kef is directly trading with the Shadowveil then?
I don't think so.
Not directly, definitely no.
He's walking a fine line, but while he's walking it, we'll accept it. Very well. How did Farron go? I hear you encountered the Shadowveil.
Oh, well, that was that's certainly fucking something.
Slippery bastards, aren't
Yep.
they?
Very, very slippery.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any luck in, capturing that son of a bitch, but they certainly are not going to be causing problems there for the time being.
Aye, indeed. Well, she's got a task for you, though she doesn't know how long it'll take you. She thinks it could be worth doing in the long run. We have the name of a bandit who seems to be coordinating other bandits. Raucous Sunderdown is the name. Given what you've already found out, we can only assume that that is a member of the Shadowveil. That being said,
So a bandit lord happens to quite possibly be Shadowveil.
well, you know that the leaders of smaller bandit units that were being coordinated were Shadowveil, so you can only assume that the leader is also Shadowveil. Right? We think we might have a vague location on where they might be based, and we'll draw out a sort of large square on your map, which I can't do right now because I have a ring of gestures in the way. Yeah, so she sort of shows you basically the point you already had. It's not quite that close to... No, sorry, they're over here. They're operating over here. That's probably a bit big, like there. Somewhere in that area. If you're seeing the arrows, is that happening for you guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. But Kyle thinks you could... 2 birds and a stone or something. Torgar Hammerstriker. You might have seen him in the last flagon. Drunken dwarf these days, not much else. Was once the greatest general this land has ever seen. He has a band of these battle ragers, as he calls them. I think they're called the Gutbuster Brigade. Up at Thraxton.
That's very good.
They're a rowdy folk. But she thinks if you could persuade Torgar and his Gutbusters to assist you in dealing with this raucous Sunderdowns encampment, perhaps you might inspire Torgar to return to his former glory and quit wallowing in his guilt, as she put it. She said there is more to the Torgar story than you might know.
Jeez.
Do you care to share?
I can't say I know a huge amount, but the one thing I do know is that it's said, rumors say, that he wasn't fired, but he instead chose to step down. But I know a little more about it than that, other than dwarves were lost in a foray over to rescue. He was one of the sole survivors. He made a mistake, one of very few in his reign as general. But it might be worth speaking to him at least. Anyway, I know you'll have plenty of other tasks. Have you made any headway towards ingratiating yourself with any of the factions of Sogravia?
Oh, yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Well, if you have any tasks that take you up that way, perhaps you could do some scouting. see whether you can investigate if this raucous place really does exist. I can come along with you if you'd like, or I can carry on my own tasks. I am free. Very good. If you trust your own
Ooh.
scouting ability, that's great.
If you're free, why don't you help our goblins? Whip them into shape.
I'm not one for housey tasks.
Our goblins
Oh,
are fine.
you know,
Our goblins are
No,
fine.
I'm much more a road type person. You know, scouting, investigating, and murdering bastards. That's
Yes,
my
we
forte.
wouldn't want to impose on you. Absolutely.
No, I'm not raising a rabble.
No,
Anyway,
agreed.
yes, if you don't want my expertise, that's fine. I have plenty of other tasks. I'm sure that some of you, and she nods towards Astrid specifically, will be more than adept in doing some scouting without getting caught. If you do get caught, try to die before giving away any important information.
all right.
I don't suppose I can get some better food, can I? Like that whole sandwich
Not
isn't sitting
round.
nicely.
Not round to these parts.
Oh, come on.
Light
What's
up
a
the
girl gonna
grill.
do over it? Look, I brought you trinkets and toys and your pay. I'm only asking for a decent bit of meat, you know? Instead of dried
Very well.
horse.
Very well, we
Yeah.
shall give you.
Ah, I knew
some
you had it
lunch.
in you. Don't worry, I brought my
Have
own
another
drink, and
barbecue.
she gets a wineskin out. She puts it on the table, and you can all share in it. It is a big wineskin.
Oh,
I put my horse in your stable. I hope you don't mind.
Well, you've already done it.
Great, fantastic. All right, well, we're going to be such good friends, Sullivan. Come on, cheer up, have a laugh about it. And she
Totally
claps you on the
not.
back a bit heavily. Yeah, with all that information gained, I think that is where we're going to end. So you can set out on your quests next week. Knowledge in
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
So we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. And I will start with whoever's in the top right. Who's in the top right? Zavril. Jamal.
my MVP immediately has got to be Elliot Sullivan getting absolutely destroyed by a flower of all things. Like the second hardest has been wrecked in the campaign, and it's been by a flower.
Sorry, hold on a second. All the cameras are disappearing. There we go.
I was protecting my friends, and I would do it again.
Protect us from this grave threat. That's all right. That's all right.
What's going on?
That's very Elliot. Wish I knew.
Sorry, guys. One moment, please.
It's okay.
Okay, cool.
What?
I think we have cameras back again. Maybe, do we? Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, the flower that destroyed Elliot. Speaking of Elliot, Josh.
Yeah, so I really liked going to the Furian Guard and the Mage's Arcane and getting a bit more insight on what it's like there, you know? I mean, obviously with the Furian Guard we only spoke to one person, but if he's, you know...
Well, you've
There's
spoken to a
nothing
few
to
people in the
say
Fury
that-
Guard, and most of them have been quite nice, and that guy wasn't.
Sure, but it does beg to differ why.
Sorry, 1 second,
he's-
Josh. Derek, thank you very much for the raid. We are actually literally ending right now, but thank you for coming in. Yeah, we're gonna be finishing in about a minute and a half. Sorry to interrupt you, Josh. Please carry on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm assuming that he obviously is not a representative of everyone there, but it does beg the reason why, if he has that kind of attitude, why he's still there. So that's fun.
Okay.
And
Yeah, definitely. Michaela.
Yes, I loved our barbecue with the goblins and the Obi running around with the sparklers and everyone just kind of hanging out. It was like a nice little chill hangout time.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Team
good.
bonding.
I enjoyed that. Alora.
A small moment for Fox's I'm a doctor and I have it on this piece of tree bark, and it's more profound in Druidic.
Yeah, that I had that down. More profound in Druidic. I love that line.
And another for Josh's, putting the candle in the water of the creek.
Yeah. Candles from the Festival of Lights. I enjoyed that. Matt.
So, with the whole flower situation, but specifically, Josh said something and Michaela responded, "You literally just got killed by a flower." It was just really funny when she said it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can agree with that. Jay.
Yeah, when Sylvan had gone down, Zavril just repeated what the flower had said.
Yeah, when Zavril's just like fading, dying, end of the road. Yeah, Jonathan really well with that. I had that down as well. 100%. I have got a couple. I love the fact that Josh was like, "I'm gonna pick it," and everybody at the table is like, "Can we at least like do something?" That was great. I really like the whole obsidian steed, like trying to let it like frolic and like seeing if it's a real creature. And, like a lot of people, you get a magical item and you just think of it as a magical item. It was a really nice bit of depth and an interesting angle to come at for that. So I really enjoyed that with Laura. Matt, I absolutely loved the fact that you just spent a day playing with Sheepsbane and Picksticker as Obi and creating havoc. And bringing the sparklers to the goblins, great. But I have to say, what I really enjoyed today was, I think Josh, you did a really good job of sort of taking the lead with talking to the Furion Guard specifically. I think that was a really nice sort of scenario. And also with the sort of sitting down at the table and what are we going to do sort of conversation. I thought it all blended really nicely. So it is you that I have handed a card today.
Oh, thank you. In the spirit of that, do we level up?
No.
Do we get a feat?
No.
I think so.
Damn.
You leveled down.
Damn.
And your MVP has been given to Michaela.
Thank you.
Well, Sullivan, I'll get one very specific thing.
Yeah.
Fading, dying, end of the road.
Inspiration. Yeah. But with that said, that is where we are going to end, I believe. So with no further ado, if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Until next time.
Bye.
Oh my god, what happened to the wave on
Wow,
Discord?
Matt.
Matt has chosen a good time.
Oh, yeah.
It goes to me to say goodbye, and thank you very much to Derek for the raid. We aren't going to be raiding anyone today, I'm afraid, because my Twitch isn't connecting properly. So I'm just going to end there. But thank you very much, and we shall see you soon.
Oh boy.